Hey y'all, who we got in here so far? We got Kritika. What's up, Kritika? Hey Adrian. Hey Chrissy. Sarah. Backstabbers, they smiling in your face. Hey Bobby. Hey Steve Harvey's mustache. Backstabbers. Hey, it's in the air. How you doing? What's up, Betty Blue? We got NYC Black Honey in the house. What's up, Gary? You made it on time this time. What's up, Terica? Hey, Justin. A few of your bodies, they sure look shady. Hey, Deidre. Hey, the light. And I don't think they'll miss what they do. They smiling in your face. Yes, the OJs. Hey, Terica. Hey, Love More. Hi, Empress. Hey, Zana. From my friends. They come to my house again and again and again and again. So are they there to see your woman? Thank you, NYC. Thank you, Sarah. I got the green lipstick on because it's Aquarius season. You know, I got to do something a little strange. Hey, Diana. Hey, Nurse Tara. What they doing? They smiling in your face. Hey, Nicole. We got a lot of backstabbers in the world. They smiling in your face. Hey, usually quiet Scorpio. Oh, that's right. It's the morning for some of y'all. It's still 11 p.m. where I'm at. Shout out to all the Aquarians. They smiled in your face. What are some of the signs that are the backstabbers? Awkward Letter said, would I date a man who wore an afro like the OJs? If it looked good on him. So MK on the plug said it's 6:03 in London. Backstabbers. Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, somebody said Gemini, Libra, Gemini, Scorpio. A lot of people are saying Gemini. Gemini just has that backstabbing reputation. Kritika said it's 11:33 a.m. here in India. Shout out to India. Okay. Adrian said Capricorns. Rendezvous. Hey, Rhonda. Rendezvous says Scorpio too. Steve Harvey's mustache said Gemini, Sag, Pisces, Aquarius. How is Sagittarius a backstabber? We're usually just straight up and down with people. Moon Goddess said Gemini. For all the Aquarians in here, if you're an Aquarius, press 1. Just want to see how many Aquarians we have in here. Happy birthday. Happy solar return. Thank you, Rhonda. CVRM said Pisces weak, so Love More said Taurus will sell you out for fun. I feel like all 3 of the air signs you can't fully trust. All 3 of them. Kritika said Pisces and Gemini. NYC Black Honey said I have an Aquarian moon. New Moon said not the Sagittarius I know, they stay backstabbing. Oh. Hey, Alicia, I'm glad you caught alive. Justice said Gemini and Capricorn. Nurse Tara said Capricorn, Aquarius, cusp January 20th. 20th is a good day to be born. That's the number of the awakening. Hey, Cindy. Cindy said Libra and Leo. Mr. 2020 Vision said Sagittarius. Gary said it's 10 where I'm at. So you're on the West Coast, Gary? Gary said Libra. Like I said, I feel like all 3 of the air signs could stab you in the back. And sometimes not even, not even deliberately. Justice said Capricorns will lie to keep themselves out of trouble if they are up against the wall. When you're living off the wall. Hey, Salacious. Gotta leave that 9 to 5 up on the shelf and just enjoy yourself. Aaron 21 is even better. Let the magic and the music get to you. Life ain't so bad at all when you're living off the wall. 21 can be very blessed, especially the older they get, because the early part of their life could be filled with some challenges, but as they get older and they, step into themselves and really learn how to, just navigate that 21, you can really have a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh, it's a beautiful life. Salacia said, hey, now, wasn't going to miss this. Hey. Leslie said, my birthday is February 13th. So you're like a double Aquarius because 13 is very Aquarian. So if you being an Aquarius born on the 13th, you must be really, eccentric, very much about walking to the beat of your own drum. Kritika said, am I a devil baby if I'm born on November 18th? No, you're not a devil baby, but you could have some challenges in terms of finances. You could have some challenges in love. You could attract some really dark-sided men being an 18. Gary said, LOL, you're right. We can't be trusted. I know, because Libras like to switch sides, switch hitters. Also, I call dark-sided Libra the traitor of the zodiac. Justice said, my birthday, November 13th. Phyllis Glenn, hey, Phyllis. What did Steve Harvey say? Steve Harvey's mustache or his lips, or what was he saying? You said you blocked him? Salacia said, my sister is the 4th, my niece is the 9th of February. Okay, y'all start throwing out some of the things that you like about Aquarius, some of the things that you don't like. One thing, and this very much deals with the topic of tonight's show, is that Aquarius do tend to be some of the wokest people in the world. Like they can see things that other people can't see. And I guess because they're really rational, they don't let their emotions get all involved in a situation. Plus, Aquarius is the sign of enlightenment. So you do have a lot of Aquarians that are just enlightened, where they just, they're thinking on a higher level and they're able to think outside of the box. That's another thing. And Aquarius deals with the hardcore truth. So a lot of them don't have any problems facing the hardcore truth. So a lot of Aquarians are woke. I find that because I'm very much about, being awake and seeing, beyond what's just put out there in the media and stuff like that. I'm always questioning the official story of things that go on. Hey, Adriana, how you doing? And Aquarians are very much like that too. Aquarians will question everything, including God, which is why Aquarius is the atheist of the zodiac. And what's interesting is the so-called, what is he called? The so-called Antichrist is an Aquarius. Did y'all know that? So-called Antichrist is an Aquarius. So while we're on the subject of Aquarius being a sign of the atheist, do we have any atheists up in here? Don't be ashamed. If you're an atheist, press 1. Oh, excuse me. If you're a believer in God, whatever concept of God you have, press 2. So if you're an atheist, press 1. If you're a believer in some type of God, press 2. If you're an agnostic where you're not sure of what you believe in, press 3. So atheist 1, believer in God 2, agnostic 3. Agnostic is very much Aquarius as well. So we got a lot of 2s up in here. We got a lot of firm believers. I only seen 1 3 so far, agnostic. I saw a couple of 1s. A lot more said 1 and 3. Hold on, let me see. Alicia said 3. I'm at the point where I'm leaning towards 3 at this point. And Aquarius will admit that they don't have all the answers. And that's why Aquarius is the scientist of the zodiac, always trying to figure things out. So we got a lot of 2s, but we got a lot of 3s. No, we don't have a lot of 3s. We got a few 3s. We don't have many 1s at all. I only saw 1 1. So there's nobody really that's an atheist up in here. Salacia said, my sister get on my nerves with that. I always question my mother when she's asked to do something. Me being a Cap, I just do it because I respect her. Aquarius, they just don't have that respect for people simply because they're in a position of authority over them. They just ain't doing it. I'm feeling 3 because, and I've been like kind of like leaning towards that 3 for a while. Like, I do believe that there's this intelligent design behind the universe, but I don't believe that there's this figure called God, especially like in terms of the masculine sense, because people always want to attach a masculine persona to God, where he's basically, he got this list and he's, you know, checking it off to see, you know, what you're doing on a daily basis, and he's tracking all your sins and stuff like that, and he's in control. One of the things that like really gets my goat is when people say God is in control. I'm like, how the hell is God in control when we're given free will? Somebody said 2.5. Ethereal said 2.5. Now, for those who press 2, if you press 2, have you questioned the religious indoctrination of your youth? Like, were you brought up in the church? Have you questioned the beliefs that have been fostered upon you? And what makes you believe that there is some type of God force that's overseeing everything? The thing with me is I can't get around the creation part, because I'm like, there's definitely some type of intelligence behind this creation. I don't believe in that whole Big Bang theory where, you know, some atoms just exploded and next thing you know, you got trees and animals and humans and lakes and rivers and streams. I don't believe that whole Big Bang. But I also don't believe in this personified Godhead that is basically in control of everything. I kind of believe that this is just like a self-replicating system, the universe. Erudite said, what's up, Erudite said, religion mixed with lies with spiritual truths to manipulate people. Phyllis said, there have been times I am more spiritual like. Justin said, do you believe this world is run by Satan? Well, I do believe that this world is under the power of Saturn. And Saturn is another term for Satan. So I guess that would be a yes. But I don't believe in like Satan in terms of like this devil figure with red horns and the tail and all that type of stuff. But I do believe that there is a satanic force. And I do believe that there is an angelic godly force, and they're constantly at odds with each other. But I feel like the satanic force is winning because you got a lot of people that are just sitting back talking about God is in control. Don't worry about it. Jesus is coming back. Oh, things are getting worse in the world. That means Jesus is coming back any day now. I'm like, y'all been saying that for centuries now. Like, come on. Love More said, I'm glad we have religion that keeps people in place. I believe the same thing, Love, because most people are followers. Honestly, most people are sheep, and they need some type of system to follow to get their asses in line. But my question to you is, can you have that type of order? Can you have morality without religion? And since it's been Aquarius season, I've been watching debates on YouTube about where these atheists will debate these Christians. And it's really interesting. I'm really right in the middle. I'm neither on either side. I actually believe that, you know, the planets are basically gods. They're the ones that are manifesting everything. And they're the ones that are really in control. Zana said the Saturn sigil is the same as the Lucifer sigil. Yup. Uh-huh. Lovemore said, I don't think we can have morals without religion. I think if people knew that they wasn't a guy, they would go crazy. Oh, God. Ethereal said, Fractal's law in the Baphomet is actually the good guy in some schools of thought. Go figure. Yeah, because basically some people believe, well, I don't know if you're talking about that Lucifer presence, but they're believing that Lucifer basically liberated humanity going back to the Garden of Eden. That's very Aquarius too. That whole Lucifer motif and concept is very Aquarian, because supposedly Lucifer tried to liberate Adam and Eve's mind. Or I'll say, actually, this whole creation story is kind of confusing, because at one point, it was the serpent, but then you have Lucifer. They talk about how Lucifer was this beautiful angel and he was like the chief of music and all this type of stuff, and how he was cast out of heaven because he refused to bow down to God. Or no, he refused to bow down to man. That's what it was. Once man was created, God wanted everybody to like basically prostrate themselves to man or whatever, and Lucifer refused. And that is supposed to be the essence of liberation. Liberation is Aquarius. Akeda said, "What's up, Akeda? Age of Aquarius is the age of Luciferianism. Yup, for good and bad. Yup, I'm gonna be going over Kobe's chart. I just wanted to do some warm up real quick before I get deep into it. But yeah, that's the one thing about Aquarius. Aquarius will question, hey Dramacidal, Aquarius will question the status quo. Aquarius will question long-held beliefs and won't necessarily adhere to them simply because everybody else is. So Aquarius is the rebel. Lucifer was the rebel. Justin said, is Aquarius or Scorpio the sign of the serpent? I say that it's Aquarius is the sign of the serpent because, again, it was through the serpent that Adam and Eve ate of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and their eyes became open. They became woke. They became awake as a result of eating that fruit. So that's definitely Aquarius. Phyllis said, my Venus is in Aquarius. Hey, love. Thank you. Ronnie, you talking about Kobe's wife? Nurse said, I question all of that. That's why me and my husband aren't getting along. So your husband's very religious, but you're not, or he's just automatically a believer in God. And did somebody answer my question? Like those that pressed number 2, are you just following the religion of your upbringing, or have you really sat down and examined your beliefs and came up with the notion that yes, there is a God, there is some type of spiritual force that's controlling everything? Sarah said, who really knows for sure? I know for sure the book of God says to follow the stars, so I agree with that. The stars led the way. Hey, Manila. Manila said, I feel like you can absolutely have morality without religion. Religion makes people do whatever they want and then ask this God figure for forgiveness, then do it again. I agree. That's one of the problems with religion. So, you have some religions like Christianity that believes that you could be a sinner, and then as long as you give your life over to God and you basically give your life over to Jesus Christ or whatever, or get saved, you're going to make it to heaven. And I'm like, I don't think it's that simple. Or they'll even say, a serial killer on his deathbed, if he asked to be saved, if he asked for forgiveness, then he could, end up going to heaven. And for those who are believers, do you believe that there's a heaven and a hell? Hey, Hidden Tower. Salacious said, yep, religion is an opiate to the masses. Adrian said, I don't follow the religion I was raised on. Nurse Tara said, yes, he's religious to a point, but I dispel all his beliefs and make him question things. And a lot of times we do just go through life just accepting things as fact and we don't question them. Kritika said, do you think Doreen Virtue left the tarot community because of Jesus or greed for heaven? I always need to know your view. She's a Taurus. Well, Taurus is about conforming to society standards. So maybe since she's getting old, she's getting a little scared and wondering if she's going to have to answer for all her divination that she's done. And maybe that's why she's transitioned over to Christianity. But I really don't know why she did that. But I'm sure you can see it in her chart. Phyllis said, I know Saturn is like the teacher. And that's basically what life is. Life is a test. And that's why this world is ruled by Saturn, because Saturn brings tests. And Saturn is a stern teacher. So, we wonder why bad things happen to good people. You got to look at the whole evolution of a person's soul. And maybe bad things happen. Oh, I see gray hair. Y'all see this gray hair? I'm getting old. But anyway, yeah, Saturn is that stern teacher. And I think people really lose sight of the fact that life is a test. And it's not really for our enjoyment, even though we can have plenty of moments of enjoyment and joy and happiness and stuff. Life is really not about what we want. It's not really about getting what we want, even though we can get what we want sometimes. But then some people have this sense of entitlement, believing that, oh, I'm supposed to have this happy marriage. I'm supposed to make a certain amount of money per year. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to have this. And when they don't have it, they think something's wrong with themselves, or they think, they failed in life in some type of way. The relationship thing is really big with that. Like if you don't have, oh, I'm not plucking my gray out. I earned these gray hairs. No, I got more than one gray hair. I got a few, but yeah, I'm not plucking out my gray hairs because I earned these Jones. Got some gray hair down there too. When I saw that, I freaked out. I was like, oh shit, the clock is ticking. The clock is winding down. Hey, Contemplating T. Alicia said life could be real shitty. It basically is whatever we make it. That's the truth. But even in terms of whatever we make it, there's still going to be situations that occur that are beyond our control and that are not, something that we want. And that just comes to life. I mean, comes with life. But yeah, I think people are too hard on themselves when it comes to relationships in particular, because, they feel like if they're not in a relationship, if they haven't been married, they failed in some way. But what they fail to realize is, maybe, according to your life path in this lifetime, you're not meant to be married. Not everybody is meant to be married. Not everybody is meant to have children. But because of society, pushing these false ideals on us, we believe that we all should be getting the same thing. And that's so not true, because we're all at a different point on the evolutionary scale. So for some people in this lifetime, yeah, they're meant to be married. For other people, no. For some people, yeah, they're meant to be married, but they're going to go through a really tumultuous marriage, and that's how they're going to learn some. That's how they're going to learn some lessons. So always remember that life is a test, and you don't always get what you want. And you could be taken out of here anytime. Just look at Kobe Bryant, but not just Kobe Bryant. We got people that die every day. The thing with Kobe Bryant is because he was such a mega star in the world of sports, in the world of basketball. That's why it was just so, drawing and unbelievable. But we need to keep in mind that people are dying every day, regardless of their age. Young people, old people, it doesn't matter, And I really believe that those are the two things that are the most certain in life: the day you're born and the day you're going to die. And I don't really think we have control over the whole death thing. Even if, like, let's say that, you're not looking when you're crossing the street, you get hit by a car and you die. That's your time to die. It was already written, and you'll be able to see it in the chart. Death by a car accident. You'll see it in, various ways. You could have like Mercury opposition Pluto. Next thing you know, somebody's mowing you down in a car. But, that doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't your time to go because it was an accident. Or if somebody is murdered, that doesn't mean that it wasn't their time. It is their time to go, but they just happen to go in a most gruesome way. But trust and believe that the day we're born and the day we die, that's already set in stone. I believe we have a little bit of leeway with everything else. So when I did my video on Kobe Bryant about those factors that dealt with him, his life being cut short, there'll be factors in other people's charts whose life has been cut short. And when I say cut short, again, it was meant for them to only live to a certain age. But, you'll always see those factors in a chart that's threatening that person's life. And these factors are fated. Like, this is part of our fate. So a lot of life is already scripted, believe it or not. So I always say we have free will, but not as much free will as we really think, because when certain planets hit up your chart, there's nothing you could really do about it. You just got to roll with the punches. Indigo Child said he spoke his death into existence. He said he wanted to die young. See, Indigo, his soul probably already knew that he was meant to die young. And he did accomplish a hell of a lot in such a short period of time. So you also got to look at that. Did he have a high quality of life? I would say he did. Better than a lot of people. So, the 41 years that he was on this earth, he did some great things. He, touched the lives of a lot of people. And, he had plenty of money. He was able to have children and a wife. So he accomplished a lot more than what some people at age 70 or 80 or 90 have accomplished. So you got to keep that in mind as well. Kata said, I think Vanessa Bryant is a Taurus, right? Yeah. If so, makes sense why she was cool with Kobe playing around as long as he was covered. Yeah. And Kobe's moon is in Taurus, so that makes sense. That could produce a long-term marriage or relationship, whether there's infidelity going on or whatever, because Taurus promotes longevity, stability, security, and that's actually could be a good combination. If a couple has, one person has their moon in the same sign as the other person's sun, that could produce a strong connection that can last for a long time, because the two of them can easily relate together, and that's good for creating a family together. Rhonda said Kobe went against his family to marry his wife. They didn't want him to marry her. Now, with Kobe's moon being conjoined to Chiron, I will say that Vanessa is like a trophy wife, or was like a trophy wife. And more than likely, she started off that way. So maybe that's why Rhonda, Kobe's family, had a problem with her. But I do believe that Kobe grew to love her. And if she was just in it for the money, I believe she eventually grew to love him. So she's a 5. So she's rather intelligent with that 5. Rhonda said, no, they didn't. And he didn't get a prenup. She was 17 and he was 21. He met her at a high school basketball tournament. Also, with Kobe's moon conjoined to Chiron, that can produce a person that can be relentless. So he was relentless on the court. The thing is, I never really followed Kobe closely in terms of basketball, because I stopped watching basketball like right around the time he came on the scene. I was more into basketball like when Shaq was with the Orlando Magic and Penny Hardaway and all that stuff. So yeah, I really didn't track Kobe Bryant's, basketball career, but I heard that he was one of the greatest. But that moon conjoined to Chiron can contribute to him being like a beast on the basketball court, but it can also result in him being very relentless and uncompromising outside of the court as well. Like, he was the type of person that you couldn't just tell him to do anything and he was going to do it. And I feel like that is part of the issue regarding why he died at the time he died. Indigo said, I was a huge Bulls fan during their reign. Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Alicia said he was extremely hardworking. Makes sense because of that Virgo energy. He has Sun conjoined to Saturn, and that can make a very hardworking person. It can deal with a person where their best is never good enough for them. They're always trying to do better than what they've already accomplished. Rhonda said Brandy wasn't his type. He liked lighter women. Wait a minute, didn't he go to the prom with Brandy or something? Adriana said, I read Kobe Bryant's family disproved because he was young. He got married at 23 and because his wife wasn't black. Akeda said there was a power struggle between Kobe and LeBron inside the Laker management. We will know who won now. Damn, that's deep. I didn't know about that, Akeda. Lovemore said, I don't want to spread rumors, but I read he wasn't the nicest personally. Well, that moon conjoined to Chiron really doesn't produce a nice person. And he had moon opposition Uranus, and that can result in him setting people against him. So again, he has some factors in his chart that could result in him getting into hot water if he's not willing to comply with what people want. Hey, Siobhan, how you doing? Indigo said Brandy went to his prom, but she was secretly dating Wayne from Boyz II Men. Oh, Wanye. Please don't go away from me when you call my name. Oh, and I can't be on too long tonight because I still got things to do. I'll reach out my hand to you. Y'all remember that song? Probably hardly any of y'all remember that. That's why Boyz II Men, Please Don't Go Away. That was my jam. Please don't go away from me. My voice ain't right tonight. Kata said maybe that stubbornness got Kobe in trouble, but LeBron will do whatever he's told, especially for the money. It definitely does seem like LeBron is like down to basically comply, and he is a Capricorn. You know how Capricorns can do. Are Boyz II Men getting back together again? Let's not wait till the water runs dry. That was my shit too. But know what song I didn't like by Boyz II Men? And I know it was a big hit, but I never liked it. I'll make love to you like you want me to. And I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you. I never liked that. I couldn't get into that. I don't like songs where it sounds like the person is whining. That's why I didn't like a lot of Keith Sweat songs. I want to show you that I need you. Aaron said, what does it mean to have 6 planets retrograde in your birth chart? Well, that could produce a concentration of energy, like it could be overly concentrated, and that energy usually is going to be internalized before it's expressed outwardly. So retrograde planets can produce more, I'll say it can exacerbate the threat of the potential problems with those planets that those planets can bring. Adrian said, I hated Keith Sweat. He wasn't that great of a singer. Even though I did like that song, Don't Stop Your Love. Leslie Foss said, what is your opinion on having a 12th house stellium? Well, those 12th house stelliums can be hard. You know, I don't envy people that have them at all, but they can be good for the arts. They could be good if you want to be a healer, like if you want to work in the medical field. So that's what that 12th house energy is really for. There's this saying that deals with the 12th house. You have 2 options, to serve or to suffer. So if you're about serving yourself or serving the dictates of your ego, a lot of times you're going to bring a lot of suffering upon yourself. If you devote your life to helping others and serving others in a way where it's not about gratifying your ego, that your life could still be very rewarding with that 12th house stellium. And you could have a lot of miracles in life. There could be some crazy things that happen in your favor, stuff like that. You could be well taken care of if you get married. Yep, I'm going to continue my Venus series, Sunny. I got Venus and Pisces coming up next. Oh, yeah. How deep is your love is pretty good. Kritika said, do you think karma works? I think karma is just basically a mechanism that means that, you know, whatever we do, there's a consequence to it, either in this current lifetime or even in the next lifetime. And I did a reading about karma the other day. Basically, I was like, are people that get away with doing bad stuff in this lifetime, will they have to pay for it in the next lifetime? And basically, I forgot what card I got, but basically it was a yes. Aaron, Venus retrograde can produce problems in terms of, you know, finding out that, you know, a partner has a hidden agenda or what is that called? A second ulterior motive, that is. You could attract a partner that, you know, is not fully straight up with you, and there could be some, you know, things that they're hiding or whatever like that. Usually quiet Scorpio said, can't stand Wanye. His facial expressions makes me sick. Indigo said, what if all your outer planets are retrograde? Well, that can, you know, that's like a buildup of energy dealing with those planets. And it can be quite, you know, challenging. If you have challenging aspects involving those outer planets, that energy is going to compound upon itself. It could just exacerbate the threat of potential problems that those planets can bring. But people shouldn't get, you know, too dismayed at the fact that they got retrograde planets. But let me get into Kobe Bryant. Oh, before I get into Kobe Bryant's chart, I did get a couple of requests to talk about Nick Cannon. Has anybody been hearing about what Nick Cannon is going through with this Orlando Brown? I didn't even know who Orlando Brown was until I saw a picture of him when he was younger. I was like, oh, that's that kid from That's So Raven, little chubby kid. But he got skinny now because he's snorting a lot of coke and doing all types of drugs. A. McKinney said Orlando Brown is a lunatic. Well, he comes across that way, but you got to keep in mind that he's a Sagittarius, and Sagittarians can be a little cuckoo. Like they just off the chain a lot of times. And I see the Sagittarius energy in him all day. Plus, he's a 4. He's born, he actually got the same birthday as Jay-Z, and he says it a lot because I watched a few of his interviews. But he be on like 11. Like he is just always hyped up, and that is very Sagittarius. Sagittarius could just be hyperactive, and that's what he is. He's also funny, but sometimes he could be too goofy, where he don't know how to be serious. Indigo said Orlando Brown said Nick Cannon dressed up as Noxeema Jackson and sucked his dick when they were younger. I'm done. Orlando Brown is a made man, Alicia said. Ken O'Malley said he got bars though. You think so? I never heard any of his music. Cherry Love said he lied on Raven. Didn't he say he had sex with Raven and then Raven had an abortion or something? I believe he probably had sex with Raven Simone. Why not? She's a Sag like him. I would not be surprised if she had sex with him. That's another thing about Sag. Sagittarius might be over the top obnoxious because he definitely is obnoxious. But Sagittarius typically doesn't lie. And Sagittarius will put people on blast. Let's see. No, somebody said Raven is a Scorpio. No, Kritika, she's a Sagittarius. December 10th. So basically on video, Orlando Brown said Nick Cannon, he let Nick Cannon suck his dick. So I pulled Nick Cannon's chart and I pulled Orlando Brown's chart to see if there could be some connection between the two of them that could validate what Orlando Brown is saying. Wait a minute, Indigo said my Sag landlord is a big liar. Oh boy. But he could be lying like because he's in trouble. But I'm talking about Sagittarius really don't lie like just on the fly like that. Like I'll say Sagittarius just doesn't lie just to be, you know, to get some attention or whatever. But the dead ringer just in Nick Cannon's chart alone is he has Mars conjoined to Uranus in Scorpio. And when I saw that, honestly, I was like, that's all I need to see. Because, you know, you'll have certain aspects in the chart that can manifest as certain proclivities, I'll say. And especially if we're talking about modern days and times, I mean, it's just inevitable. And Nick Cannon has the gay lunar nodal axis. Nick Cannon has his south node in Aquarius, north node in Leo. Then he has Mars conjoined to Uranus in Scorpio. What does that make that? That makes him very much inclined to engage in homosexual activity at some point. It's almost inevitable. Like that one is like you almost can put money on it that he has with that hookup. So again, he has the gay lunar nodal axis, Aquarius south node, Leo north node, and he has Mars conjoined to Uranus in Scorpio in the 6th house. In the 6th house means that he might even pay somebody to do a little work for him, to shine his silver, if you know what I'm saying. Let me see what houses his nodes are in. And wait a minute, didn't somebody say he did a little something when they were on the set of a show or when they were young? Hold up. And he got Scorpio intercepted in the 6th house. I'm pretty sure he's had some STDs before. But Nick Cannon also has Sun conjoined to Moon in Libra. So when somebody said that he dressed up like Joanna Man, I can believe it. He probably has dressed up as a woman before. Probably likes it. And what's up with that turban that he wears on his head? Is he like a Moor or something like that? Hold up. Nick Cannon also has Saturn conjoined to his Juno. They're both at the 2nd degree. That deals with his marriage to Mariah Carey, which was basically a business agreement. I basically believe that Mariah Carey wanted children and he agreed to marry her and they agreed to be married for a little while. And then basically, they go their separate ways. But that Juno conjoined to Saturn and it's in the 5th house. The 5th house deals with children. So that's like a business agreement that they had for her to get children out of the deal. Ethereal said, the gay lunar nodal axis, that phrase always tickles me. Manila said he has spots on his head from lupus, I think. Yes, one of my students said that he has lupus. And it makes sense because I'm seeing a strong connection between lupus and Libra. And I think he also has a kidney disorder. Didn't somebody tell me that he has a kidney disorder that would deal with that Libra stellium he has? So he has his Sun, Moon. What else? He has his Sun, Moon, and Pluto, and Saturn and Libra, and his Juno. And they're in the 5th house. So that lupus can affect his quality of life, like seriously, and it can take away his, free will. But again, the clincher with Nick Cannon, which makes me confirm that he is bisexual and he has strong homosexual tendencies, is the fact that he has South Node in Aquarius, North Node in Leo. His Mars is conjoined to Uranus in Scorpio. Let me look at his 8th house. Oh, how about this? He got Virgo on the 5th with Mercury and Scorpio in the 6th. He has Sagittarius on the 8th. Jupiter and Virgo is in the 5th. So he might have been in service to people at some point for sex, or that could deal with him having people serve him up. Now, when I put Orlando Brown and Nick Cannon's chart together, there's one aspect in particular that makes me say, okay, yeah, there's a chance that they really could have got down like that. All right, where is this? All right. Where is it at? Okay. So Orlando Brown's Mars is in sextile to Nick Cannon's Venus. And Nick Cannon's Venus is in Virgo. That's like him being served up by Orlando Brown. Siobhan said Nick wrote a long response but didn't deny it because he probably knows if he denies it, Orlando Brown is going to come back with some receipts. Because again, Sagittarius typically isn't just going to come out their mouth with lies just to get attention or to be relevant. Now, they might lie if they're in hot water with something, but there's different types of lies. Sirius said he doesn't come off as bisexual. Who, Nick Cannon? Well, there's a lot of guys that don't outwardly display homosexual characteristics or bisexual characteristics, but it doesn't mean that they're not. You'd be surprised. I mean, you would be surprised. But that's the one that did it for me. When I saw that Orlando Brown's Mars, and I believe his Mars is in Scorpio. Let me check. Yup. Orlando Brown's Mars in Scorpio is in sextile to Nick Cannon's Venus in Virgo. So again, that can deal with Orlando serving Nick Cannon, or yeah, Orlando serving Nick Cannon up. And then Orlando Brown has Mars conjoined to Pluto, so that could be a sign of sexual abuse when he was younger. But also, his Mars and Pluto are doing something. Wait a minute. Okay, his Mars and Pluto are in sextile to his Venus and Neptune. I wouldn't be surprised if Orlando Brown has done some prostitution, was a rent boy, so to speak. Especially since he was on drugs, and he's been in trouble with the law a few times. Got locked up a few times. One was for abuse, I think. That Mars conjoined to Pluto can make him abusive. But that Mars conjoined to Pluto can deal with him exposing people. But yeah, Nick Cannon, he always just has this nervous thing with me. Like, seems like he's just nervous that some shit's going to come out about him. So, you know, he tries to do that Libra thing where he tries to be cool with everybody. But obviously didn't work with Orlando. Indigo said crackheads don't lie unless they need crack. I kind of feel sorry for the dude because he definitely seems like he's lost. Contemplating Key said he dressed up like a woman in Big Mama's house with Martin. No, I think you're thinking of that other actor. Or was Nick Cannon in that too? Kritika said, yeah, he comes off as hesitant. Yeah, that's a good word to use. Brandon T. Jackson, that's his name. He's the one that played in Roll Bounce with Bow Wow. But Nick Cannon got his start with Nickelodeon and on that show, All That. So Nick Cannon has been in the, he's been in the game for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody messed with him too when he was young. Wait a minute, what did he do? Indigo Child said, Diddy always doing the most. What did he do this time? Look, what did he do this time? Oh, somebody said, Siobhan said, did y'all see Diddy hugged up with Robert Kraft at the, what? Is there a picture? I gotta look this up. Diddy and Robert Kraft. Ooh, it says Diddy and Robert Kraft relationship. Oh, I saw that, Siobhan. Because I saw that whole video where it was Jay-Z's brunch. His brunch party. And I did see when he was just sitting with that old dude. And I was like, yeah, that looks suspect as hell. Ew, look at him. Cherry Love said Nick looked like he had ADHD on his last interview with Vlad TV. He couldn't sit still. Salacious said, yep, Diddy fucked Usher when he... Oh, that's right. Remember that video? It was Diddy, Usher, I think Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart was the one that was really basically making it like, putting it out there because he was like, what? Diddy gets quite chatty when he gets drunk, Salacious said. Siobhan said that whole brunch looked weird. It did, and it looked boring as hell. I was like, I'd rather be home eating some grits and egg because it looked boring as hell. I was like, where's the live entertainment? Oh, did that brunch happen before or after Kobe's death? Or was it the same day? Because I thought that was a little suspect that Jay-Z had that brunch right around the time that Kobe died. You know these people be all into rituals and stuff. So this was before. Wait a minute. Terica says before. Ella says after. Nurse says before. Siobhan said it was the day before his death. I wouldn't be surprised if Jay-Z already knew that he was going to, that Kobe was going to die. I would not be surprised. Which, as you can see, I'm getting at my own conspiracy theory. Nurse Tara said, yup, that's exactly what I thought. Cindy said, I think the same day or around Kobe's death. Nurse said it was on a Saturday. So that was a day before Kobe Bryant died. Terica said the brunch is always the day before the awards. Okay, so he has this brunch every year, so that can absolve him from from being aware. Ethereal said they all knew. It seemed like some of these basketball players kind of knew. Terica said Clive's party is always the night before. But wait a minute, was that Clive's party? I thought this was Jay-Z's brunch party. Alicia said the Grammys was weird and I wasn't buying Alicia Keys acting all upset. I got to check out that video. I didn't see the Grammys. But one thing I'll say before I get into Kobe's chart, if y'all don't think that these people up at the top that make all this money are not owned, they are. Whether it's professional sports, and I'm not talking about all of them, but I'm talking about the mega stars, the Kobe's and the Michael Jordans and the LeBron James of the world. These people are owned. Let me tell you something. Kobe Bryant made the NBA billions of dollars. He had to if he was making millions upon millions of dollars. You don't think a person like that is owned by people up at the top? You don't think this type of person has masters that he has to obey? This is what I'm leading up to. I mean, people got to wake up. And interesting thing about humanity, when we're young children, we're told that to lie is the bad thing, right? You know, most people growing up, that was one of the first things you learn. Oh, it's not good to lie. You shouldn't lie. You know, always tell the truth. You know, lying, what do they say? If you'll lie, you'll steal. If you'll steal, you'll kill. So we've been fed that whole line since we were children. It's not right to lie. You shouldn't lie. You shouldn't lie. So when we deal with the media, I think a lot of people are still following that dictate, like, oh, people aren't supposed to lie to you. People are always supposed to tell the truth. Let me tell you something. I would say 90% of what you see on TV is a lie. 90% of what you see on the news is a lie, or it's the truth that's been twisted. So people need to wake up. Do you really believe these people in power are always honest? Do you really believe every news story is the actual truth? Alicia said the elite are not going to just let someone make this money and not have ownership over you. Right. Phyllis said exactly. Nurse said exactly. That's why I don't watch the news. Even when it comes to this coronavirus, y'all don't think that is a little weird that as soon as the media started reporting on this coronavirus, it started to spread like wildfire? Come on now. Y'all don't think this is manufactured? And you notice they do this shit every so often, every few years. There's some virus scare. There's some, potential epidemic that's going on. Before, that remember they had the SARS. Remember they had the swine flu. Remember they had the Ebola. Well, it's always something. Think about it. Why are they always doing this? Because they want us to be scared. They want to always sow seeds of fear. Why? So people will cower in fear to the masters and be like, do something. Save us. We're in danger. Help us. Ethereal said the avian flu. Alicia said coronavirus was predicted in the Simpsons show. That's why I don't like the Simpsons. I don't like none of those animated shows. If you notice those animated shows, they be saying a lot of truth. They be doing that predictive program and stuff. So you got to ask yourself, who's writing these shows? Same with somebody had already mentioned, but this has already been out there about that helicopter episode with that, what was it called? Chamberlain Heights. It was some obscure animated series from Comedy Central. And there was this episode that featured Kobe Bryant crashing in a helicopter and then the helicopter blowing up. And he crawls out of the helicopter holding his 2 basketball trophies and 5 of his rings spill out. And then I think people grab up 3 of the rings. Do you really think this is a coincidence? Do you really think that, helicopters just fall out of the sky with a famous person in there at one of the most convenient times after he's already retired. They already got like what they needed to get out of him. And maybe, you know, they could get even more out of him now because, you know, all his sports memorabilia, his Nikes, all that, they're shooting through the roof, the sales. And you know what they say, like sometimes a person is worth more dead than they're worth alive. He had retired, so he was no longer making billions for the NBA, for these masters. So maybe they wanted him to do something else so that he could continue to make money off of him. But because Kobe got that moon conjoined to Chiron and it's opposing Uranus, Kobe's not the type that's just going to bow down and do whatever his masters want. He might have, while he was in the NBA, of course, because he had to keep that job. He had to keep making coins. But once he retired, I strongly believe that Kobe was not trying to be part of this whole, you know, thing. I don't think he was trying to have to conform to, you know, what they wanted. Maybe they wanted him to do a movie and put on a dress, and maybe he wasn't down with it. Maybe he wasn't down with carrying out one of their missions or whatever. Now let's get into his chart. Now I'm just going to reiterate what I said in the last video about the factors that resulted in his death being cut short, because he has several factors in this chart, and some of these factors can be indication of foul play. Love Moore said, wait, Kobe has some suspect picks, and I got to get off here in like 15 minutes or whatever. So once I go through Kobe's chart, I think basically I'm going to wrap things up because I got to finish some things. I got some deadlines to meet. But anyway, so again, factors in Kobe Bryant's chart that resulted in his life being cut short. This is for people that didn't see my previous video. If you saw it, I'm just reiterating it before I get deep into his chart. So his ascendant, 7th degree of Capricorn, that 7th degree, one of the key words is sacrifice. It's very much like Neptune. It could deal with loss, misfortune, injuries. Now, him being a basketball player, and I'm also going to be saying some things that just deal with his basketball career too, just to let you know that I'm not being biased, because that 7th degree of Capricorn can deal with broken bones, injuries. And you know, being a basketball player, that just goes with the territory. So I'm not just saying that that 7th degree just deals with like some type of sacrifice or whatever. That really put his body, that made his body vulnerable because of the type of work that he did. He was a basketball player. They always getting injured. But like I said, the other manifestation of that 7th degree can be sacrifice, can be loss, can be misfortune, sorrow as well. Now, his ascendant was conjoined to the fixed star Fasces, and that Fasces can be very unfortunate. It can lead to accidents and a violent death. His Saturn, ruler of his chart, in the 8th house. That 8th house is death. His sun was in the 8th as well, conjoined to Saturn. That can cut somebody's life short alone. His sun was in semi-square to Pluto. That can cut a person's life short. His sun was conjoined to Regulus. Now that dealt with him being a mega basketball star, but it also can deal with accidents and violence. His sun was conjoined to the fixed star Fecta. This is one of the ones that made me raise my eyebrow, because that Fecta can deal with bloodbaths and assassinations. Assassination. You know, an assassination is murder. It's not dying off of some accident. And when I talk about these fixed stars, trust and believe that these fixed stars do manifest in the real world. His moon could join the Chiron. I talked about his moon being the high leg, in terms of that high leg basically is the determining factor in terms of one's longevity. So with his moon being conjoined to Chiron, that can make him very vulnerable. And Chiron was opposing Toro. Toro deals with aggression. Toro deals with violence. Now, again, going back to his basketball career, that Chiron opposition Toro can make him a really good basketball player, especially in terms of offense. But also knowing what the other side's going to do, that can make him very aggressive as a basketball player. But that can also deal with him running into some type of violent situation, and also maybe somebody being an antagonist. Thank you, Angela. I'm glad you made it too. This is another key factor in his death. His moon is opposed to Uranus in Scorpio. Uranus is at the 12th degree of Scorpio. That 12th degree, key phrase, sacrifice and victimization. Part of fortune, which was his secondary high leg at the 18th degree of Virgo in the 8th house. That 18 can produce a violent death. It can even produce murder. I'm right there along with you, Can O'Malley. Mars conjoined to Pluto. Now, Mars was squaring his ascendant. Pluto is a little bit far away, but I'm including that in that square. Now, that can deal with where you have an enemy and where somebody takes revenge upon you because he has Mars conjoined to Pluto in Libra. Libra is the sign of enemies. Libra is the sign of the opposition. It's the sign of your opponents, your rivals. Now, this could deal with basketball, but it can also deal with him having an enemy outside of the court. His Pluto was opposed to the Arabic part of death. That right there is a key factor. If we're talking about Pluto, his Pluto is in Libra. That could deal with him dying at the hands of somebody. Again, you got to take these signs into account. So I'm not just, pulling this shit out of my ass. We know that Libra deals with other people. We know that Libra deals with enemies. So if he has Pluto in Libra opposing the Arabic part of death, what do you think that could be? I'm sorry, I'm getting charged up because some people just swear this was just a regular accident and it was foggy out. If it was foggy out and some people are confirming that it was foggy out, do you know that these people control the weather? I see them spraying I see planes in the sky all the time and they're spraying these goddamn chemtrails. You don't think they could create fog? You don't think they could create this heavy overcast atmosphere? You don't think that they control the weather? Trust me, they control everything now. Now they're so sophisticated and doing these cover-ups that they can really fool the average person into believing that this shit was an accident. Ethereal said, I've got that long email I was meant to send to you talking about all this. I got a bag of Kobe aspects, so I know the whole bag. Trust me, I be knowing. All right. Before I get into his chart, I just want to, say a few of these quotes from this book and also movie called A Brave New World, because basically we're living in a brave new world right now. And a lot of the things that are reported in the news are basically lies. So here's some of these quotes from A Brave New World. If you never read the book or saw the movie, either read the book or see the movie because it's deep. It basically shows you a lot of what's already going on. And this book and movie is old. The movie was released in like 1969 or whatever like that. But they were basically showing you this utopian society where everybody was brainwashed and where they used sex to control people. And Aldous Huxley, he wrote A Brave New World, and he was part of the elite. So great is truth, but still greater from a practical point of view is silence about truth. Another quote, one believes things because one has been conditioned to believe them. That's why I asked those people that pressed 2 about my question about atheists versus you being a believer in God. Have you ever questioned your belief? Have you ever questioned where you got the belief and why you believe this? So, most people, they just accept things as fact without doing their own research, without trying to determine if something is really true that they believe. So I'll read that again. One believes things because one has been conditioned to believe them. Conditioning. Another quote, most men and women will grow up to love their servitude and will never dream of revolution. Another quote, a really efficient totalitarian state, and totalitarianism is Aquarius. A really efficient totalitarian state would be one in which the all-powerful executive of political bosses and their army of managers control a population of slaves who do not have to be coerced because they love their servitude. So again, I'm just saying you got to question the official story. why do we automatically, or not we, because I don't, but why do the masses automatically accept what is touted on the news as truth? So again, I talked about Kobe's ascendant being at the 7th degree of Capricorn. What I didn't mention is that that can produce a corporate slave. So again, even though Kobe had all this money, all this millions of dollars, he was still a corporate slave. He was still a slave to the system. And they don't pay you that much money if they don't own you. Trust and believe. There's an order to this system. So again, that 7th degree deals with sacrifice, tragedy, misfortune. Saturn, his chart ruler in the 8th house, conjoined to his sun. Now, again, I talk about him being a corporate slave. Well, him having that 8th house sun, when you got an 8th house sun, not all the time, but sometimes your life may not fully be your own. And his sun is in Virgo, Saturn in Virgo. That can mean that he's in a position of servitude, even though he's a multimillionaire. Again, the man had masters. He also had, with Sun, semi-square Pluto. Like I said, that could shorten one's life, but that could point to his life being threatened by somebody because his Pluto is in Libra. Also, that could point to him being in grave danger at some point. It also deals with explosions. Mind you, Pluto's in his 9th house. 9th house deals with air travel. So explosions, also life-threatening experiences, attempts to break free from someone's influence, dangerous liaisons, death of a child, being under someone's power, breakdowns, challenges with fully exercising his free will. And if somebody has an 8th house sun, they may have challenges exercising their free will, period. We got 121 people up in here, only 43 likes. Can y'all get the likes up, especially if y'all like what I'm saying? He had Pluto conjoined to the fixed star Merga, and that can represent guardians. So this is showing that he had some type of guardians over him. Also, Merga could deal with ministers of state. Somebody said he had a connection with the Clintons. Custodians, treasurers, forces behind the scenes, hidden masters. I'm not making this stuff up. I got to repeat it again just in case y'all didn't hear me. His Pluto in Libra is conjoined to the fixed star Merga. Again, Merga can deal with guardians, ministers of state, custodians, treasurers, forces behind the scenes, hidden masters. His moon was at the 11th degree of Taurus. That 11th degree can produce conflicts. Now, we know he had conflicts at home dealing with his wife because he was a philanderer. He cheated on his wife. Now he got Mars conjoined to Pluto. Mars conjoined to Venus and Pluto, and that could deal with a man that has a hard time being faithful. But I'll more about that in a minute. But that moon at the 11th degree of Taurus not just deals with conflicts over women, especially with his wife. That could deal with money, values, integrity being challenged. So he has challenges dealing with money, values, and integrity. Challenges with being his own self. And also that 11th degree can produce love triangles. Also, that moon conjunct Chiron, opposition Uranus. I'm thinking because his moon and Chiron were in the 4th house, he had the most advanced technology and home security due to him being aware of threats. I believe he already had a feeling his life was threatened, but I don't think he took it seriously enough. But if they want to get you, they're going to get you no matter what. Just ask Prince. Serious upsets within the home, spending many nights in hotels, being separated from home, and that prompted him to start traveling via helicopter because he wanted to spend more time with his family. So he even mentioned this. So that moon opposition Uranus deals with his private helicopter, but it also put him at risk for the helicopter crash. Also, that moon opposition Uranus, because Uranus is in Scorpio, that could deal with where he is indebted to a network of people or a group of people. So again, he can't just do what he wants. His Uranus was in Sesame Square to his Pisces South Node, and that can deal with That reinforces the sacrifice theme. Also, that could point to him going against a secret society due to a conflict over values, integrity, standards. So again, maybe they wanted him to do something that went against his values and standards and integrity. Because I believe at the end of the day, he was a family man. And I believe that he put his family first, and he wasn't going to do certain things to compromise his integrity. And I believe that's a big reason why they took him out. Also about that moon opposition Chiron. That moon conjoined Chiron opposition Uranus. This could be with him refusing to fully conform to the dictates of the group or network. Uranus is in his 10th house. And that could deal with a professional network, a network that deals with the corporation that he was hired by, which would be the NBA. But it can also just deal with a society network of individuals on a professional level. So he could have tried to be the exception to the rule in this case. Now, if you look at LeBron James probably plays along like he should. But Kobe Bryant, he was more the type to try to break away from that influence and be the exception to the rule. His Uranus was conjoined to Alphecca. I spoke about that. That could deal with betrayal in love, scandals, which we know he went through with that rape charge that he had with that female. His Uranus is conjoined to the fixed star Terpsichore. The asteroid Terpsichore, and that could deal with problems with helicopter rotors. Again, because Uranus rules helicopters. So somebody already mentioned that. They said they think they did something with the rotors. I'm looking at that the same way. Siobhan said they about to milk Vanessa for the rest of the milk. I wouldn't be surprised. And she better be careful too. But so yeah, Uranus conjoined to Terpsichore, because Terpsichore can deal with movement. And with Uranus conjoined to Terpsichore, again, that Uranus can deal with the helicopter itself, but also challenges with the helicopter moving. So that makes me think of the rotors, because it's the rotors that make the helicopter fly. His Venus was conjoined to Pluto. Now, again, that's not conducive to a monogamous relationship. There's a high chance of infidelity. So we all know about his past. And, I'm not even going to really get deep into that. But that can show where he was fixated on the whole orgasm, and where he might have even paid for sex. But I think he didn't he pay you off that girl that where he had the rape charge in? They settle out of court. So that Venus conjoined to Pluto could deal with that. Could also deal with the fact that he has heavy tax obligations. Now, while he was a philanderer, I see this as him being very possessive and jealous over Vanessa. So while he was able to go do what he wanted, I could see him being very possessive over his wife, but being very supportive at the same time. Also, I see him being part of that Venus conjoined to Pluto could deal with him being part of a team, being part of a very influential, powerful, and prominent team, such as the Lakers. Also, that could deal with collaborations, licensing deals like with Nike, indebtedness, being very concerned. Again, keyword on indebtedness, being indebted to someone or people, being very concerned with safety and security. Also, this can point to his bodyguards. Hell, he could have had some ties to the mafia or whatever. And don't think that's far-fetched, because a lot of these people who are high up, they have some type of ties to that or whatever. Or it could deal with somebody within a mob, or the mafia was, working behind the scenes to, fix certain things. Conspiracy and conspirators. Someone is out for revenge, dying with a group of people. So that Venus conjoined to Pluto in his 9th house deals with, that's the aspect that points to him literally dying with a group of people in the air. Well, we don't know if he died in the air or with it crashing, but still, you know what I'm saying, while he was in flight. So 9th house, Libra is intercepted in the 9th, on a way to a game. So he was on a way to his daughter's basketball game. Venus rules the 5th house. 5th house deals with games and his daughter. Dying with one of his children. Again, Venus rules the 5th house. His Mars was conjoined to Pluto as well. This is him being in too deep. Or I'll say a person that has this conjunction, they could get in too deep. That can also manifest as betrayal, hidden enemies, bad company, a bad deal, revenge, danger, murder, rape, operating underground, power struggles, abuse, manipulation, being under pressure, being owned, being indebted to someone, explosions. So that's another explosion aspect. Compulsions, obsessions. He could have kind of had like a werewolf personality where he would just turn into someone else at times. Like he could have had like this sex demon thing going on, which made him, have this insatiable sex drive. Hard to remain faithful and monogamous, hypersexual. Also, his Mars was squaring his ascendant. That aspect is no joke. Hey, Maria, that aspect is no joke. When you got Mars and Libra squaring your ascendant, that can deal with being targeted by an enemy, being in grave danger, especially when you add Pluto to the mix, being shot down. Again, being shot down. Like that could be literally you're getting shot down. So I'm wondering, because they have this technology where they could have either sent some type of drone or some type of missile or whatever. And I'm talking about it could be something small. They could have shot that damn helicopter down. But they're using the official story. Oh, it was foggy that morning. I'm just like, mind you, that helicopter pilot apparently had more than 20 years experience as a pilot. You would think a very experienced pilot would not be flying in conditions where there's very low visibility. Now, some people are saying, well, Kobe Bryant forced him to fly. Where are people getting this information? How do people know this? That Kobe basically said, no, we're going to fly. I'm going to fly anyway. Now, I am saying Kobe was very willful, but we don't know what conversation was going on in that helicopter. Also, that Mars square ascendant can deal with him going against what his masters want him to do. His Mars was conjoined to Algorab, and that's a fixed star that can deal with craftiness, greed, ingenuity, patience, but also revengefulness, selfishness, lying, aggression. Also, it can sometimes cause the person to be an agitator. You can't be an agitator if you have these masters up at the top that are owning you and think you're going to get away with it. So let's talk about some of the transits that he had going on the day that he died. Hey, elements of light. Yeah, Ethereal, they're saying that there was no black box. Isn't that kind of strange? I thought all aircraft, especially the ones that were sophisticated, had black boxes. And it seems like they're adding details as they go about this helicopter crash. So on the day that he died, he had some challenging aspects. He was going through his Neptune square Neptune transit. Now that can produce a death, but that can also produce a situation where you're being deceived or where there's some type of deception going on. So with Neptune square Neptune, this deals with tragedy that occurs in flight because his natal Neptune is in the 11th house, and that deals with the helicopter itself. And Neptune, let's not forget, is the dispositor of his Pisces South Node. So if you have a heavy a heavy transit like Neptune square Neptune, and your South Node is ruled by that planet, it can be particularly gruesome, I'll say, in terms of the outcome of that transit. So here are some of the possible manifestations of Neptune square Neptune. Now, this transit wasn't exact, but it doesn't have to be exact for things to go down dealing with that transit, because what can happen is, which is exactly what happened on this day, it will take a lighter or faster moving planet to activate that heavy transit, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, Neptune square Neptune, that can deal with sacrifice, tragedy, being forced to surrender, sleight of hand, being cheated or deceived, blocking someone who lacks boundaries, experiences and interactions with others that befuddle you, undergoing a metamorphosis, experiencing a shift that results in a means of liberation, breaking free from bondage, interesting and prophetic dreams, release from confining circumstances, an overwhelming feeling of uneasiness or paranoia, being prey to those who wish to take advantage of your compassion or goodwill, doing the seemingly impossible, doing a disappearing act, Cutting ties to someone brings a great sense of relief. Now, when I say doing a disappearing act, I am not trying to imply that Kobe is still alive. I think he is dead. Some people are trying to say that he's still alive, but I don't believe that conspiracy. But anyway, cutting ties to someone brings a great sense of relief. Dissolution of a contractual agreement or partnership releases you from an oppressive situation. Hospitalization, feeling weak or feeble, being in a vulnerable position, a strong yearning to escape your present circumstances. Again, I'm talking about the possible manifestations of this Neptune square Neptune transit he was going through. Deep sleep that refreshes you. Now, you know, this deep sleep in this case is death. Being stunned or amazed, planning a getaway. Someone is looking at you to be his or her savior. So I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure when this was all going down, his daughter was probably looking at him like, you know, how can you save us? So he probably I'm sure he felt helpless at the time. Now, remember what I said, when it comes to a major transit like Neptune square Neptune, the day that it becomes exact may not be, and a lot of times it won't be the day where the events dealing with that transit are going to transpire. It can be, number one, it could be a series of events. And it can also be, basically things can go down whenever that Neptune square Neptune is within range. So you're going to need an activator that's going to activate that transit. So Mars was the activator that day. On that day that he died, his Mars was conjoined to Neptune. So here are the possible manifestations of this transit. Merging with others, being more focused on helping others, sacrifice, experiencing a feeling of oneness with others. Now, he could have felt that while he was on the helicopter with the other 8 people, but he could experience that oneness with others through death. Because, you know, when you pass over, well, I can't say you know, but the people that have been in near-death experiences have said that when they've crossed over to the other side, they've seen their family members, they've seen some of their loved ones. So feeling a feeling of oneness with others can actually be part of that death process or dying process. Piercing the veil between the material and spiritual worlds. Of course, that can happen. That's going to happen when you die. A supernatural experience. Yielding to a higher power. So, of course, if your helicopter is about to go down, of course, you're going to be yielding to a higher power. Of course, you're going to be asking God for help or whatever spirit you believe in. Fervent prayer or worship. So he could have been praying fervently that, you know, they would be saved or whatever. So this transit is really touching. Performing penance. So, you know, when people are about to die, a lot of times they get on their knees or, you know, they start praying to God, asking for forgiveness. Being very concerned with the well-being of others, attempting to dispel confusion, a need to gain some clarity. Now with that, that's interesting because that could deal with the fog. So there really could have been fog going down, but maybe again, that was the little smoke screen, like I mentioned to Siobhan in the comment section with my first video on Kobe. Maybe that was the literal smoke screen that acted as a cover to the real cause of that crash. Also, being plagued with guilt, attempting to, of course he would be plagued with guilt if he was responsible for flying in that helicopter and he brought his daughter along with him. And next thing you know, the helicopter is going down. Of course, you're going to be filled with guilt. Attempting to right a wrong, being at the mercy of someone in a position of power, being subjugated, feeling weak or feeble, low energy level, feeling lethargic, and inability to take the lead, getting away, being vulnerable, going to the doctor or a medical center, being caught up in a scandal, being highly irrational, cowering in fear, being sneaky or deceitful, surrendering. Next, Uranus was opposing his midheaven, and that is dealing with the helicopter crashing into the mountain and falling, because the midheaven can represent that mountain. Uranus represents helicopters, aircraft in general. So in the more general sense, Uranus opposition midheaven can deal with a life-altering event, a shocking event, a serious upset, upheaval, unexpected circumstances that have far-reaching effects, a crisis within the family, shaking things up, going up against the system, gaining more independence, attempting to liberate yourself from oppressive circumstances, rebellion. Mind you, this Uranus opposing his midheaven was in effect since last year in his chart. So some of these transits were already in effect since last year. So like I said, they could produce a series of events. Transiting Chiron was in quincunx with his midheaven. That could deal with where his safety is in jeopardy, a freak accident, being fatally wounded, seeing red flags or warning signs, a shocking event, an unsettling experience, a life-altering change, attempting to buck the system, dysfunction or malfunction, taking shortcuts, a diversion, disastrous or painful circumstances, a grieving or ailing mother. Neptune was making a sesqui-square with his midheaven. Tragic death, sacrifice, your reputation is in question, being shamed, neglecting responsibility, shirking responsibility, unnecessary sacrifice. Your efforts to succeed or accomplish a mission are in vain. Running on empty, serious disappointment, shady or deceptive business practices, a masquerade, disappointing circumstances. Transiting Neptune was in quincunx with his Venus. That could produce loss or misfortune involving a child because Venus rules his fifth house. Sacrifice, sorrow, misfortune, deception, victimization. Secret enemies are threatening your safety or security. Being at risk of being a victim of theft, fraud, or duplicity. A yearning for an escape from your present circumstances. A weird, unbelievable, or paranormal experience, a bizarre or unsettling dream, a need to operate in stealth, a grave misunderstanding, failure, a misadventure, disorder, being in a quandary, muddling things up. Also, be aware that the South Node, the transiting South Node, had recently crossed over his ascendant. And with that, that could deal with being at risk for an injury or physical ailment, being in transition, turning over a new leaf, having a confrontation with someone, your number comes up, undergoing an identity crisis, cutting ties to someone, turning your back on someone, being targeted, being in need of a resolution, a painful farewell. Also, Pluto was in quincunx to his Mercury. This could deal with a major change in terms of his mindset, or where he has this feeling of being on edge, being suspicious, a need to operate in stealth. I have a feeling like he had a good idea that his life was in jeopardy. Being incognito, obsessing over an issue, being thrown under the bus, uncovering damning information, being in crisis, being coerced, suffering a mental breakdown, being on the receiving end of vitriol, extreme emotional upset clouds your reasoning, calling it quits, unintended consequences, bad nerves, being threatened, being harassed, acting out of character, acting up, feeling pressured to make some changes in your life, entertaining dark or morbid thoughts, a problem from the past comes back to haunt you, high anxiety, an unnerving situation. Also, last but not least, he had transiting Jupiter squaring his Mars, and that could deal with fragmentation, discord, fragmentation, and even in terms of that helicopter, things falling apart, travel plans go haywire, righteous indignation, a problem concerning ethics or morals, a need to stand up for oneself or for others, crowded conditions, being detoured. And I think that helicopter was detoured, or they said something like the helicopter had to do certain, like, had to fly in circles while they waited for the path to clear or something like that. Being pressured to make a decision, fighting an injustice, being unapologetic in your approach, fighting for more freedom or space, coercion, blackmail, a political battle, refusing to go along with the crowd, doing it your own way, a need to put some distance between you and another person, a flare-up of pain, a conflict of interest, especially with moral or ethical implications, a major distraction, being judged harshly or unfairly, hearing the painful truth. So Roz said, yep, for over 10 minutes, taxiing in the sky. Angela said, didn't he tell someone when he was in his 20s he wanted to die young? He knew. Sometimes, yeah, a lot of times people will have a feeling that they're not going to live very long. And like I was saying, when this live stream first started, he did accomplish a lot in a short period of time. In his short life, he accomplished a lot, more than what a lot of people will accomplish. Siobhan said he told McGrady he wanted to die a young legend. Wow. Rhonda said if he only followed astrology, he wouldn't took Gigi on that ride. Yeah. Ethereal said the thought of her father was a superhero. He ain't a pilot. Taurus is grounded, no pun intended. Yeah, that's what I said, Adriana. He had Mars conjoined to Pluto, so I mentioned explosion as one of the possible manifestations. Yes, people that are born in 1978 will be going through their Neptune square, Neptune transit. Like I said, it was already in effect since last year, but that doesn't mean that everybody's going to die as a result of that transit. It will affect people in different ways. Like I've been through that Neptune square, Neptune transit, and it's nothing nice. I will tell you that, but I survived it. But remember what I said about Kobe's chart. He already had the factors in his chart that could deal with his life being cut short. So no, like I don't want people to get scared thinking that, because Neptune is squaring your Neptune that you're going to die. Don't think that, because it can manifest in different ways. Hey, Victorious V. Rhonda said those propellers wasn't spinning at all. You could see that when it was going down. Wow. Rod said air traffic control didn't respond as quickly, I feel. Also, when they were talking about the fog, right? I know they said that the LAPD or whatever didn't send their helicopters up, but were any flights grounded? Did they ground any of the commercial flights? Because that would be very telling. Like if they didn't ground the commercial flights, was the fog really that bad where planes couldn't fly? Another thing, I thought that fog was low laying. So I thought you could rise above the fog if you're flying in a plane or a helicopter. Because doesn't fog lay low? Which can explain why, Siobhan, you had said that you had a hard time crossing the street. I believe that's you that said that. And wouldn't that deal with like it basically hanging low, and couldn't an aircraft rise above the fog? They even said something like that on the news, like the pilot was trying to rise above the fog. Doolittle said fog is nothing to an experienced pilot. And like I said, they can create fog. They can create rain nowadays. If you don't believe it, just Google geoengineering. Chemtrails is the popular term, but you might find some disinformation if you Google chemtrails, because the government has been trying to cover up this thing for years. They will not admit that they're spraying the skies, but they are. All you have to do is look up and you can see these planes spraying these lines in the sky, and the lines spread out. And some days this it will cover the whole sky. And then next thing you know, the next day it'll start raining. So yes, they can create artificial clouds, they can create fog, they can create rain, they could do whatever the hell they want, which is another reason why I'm very skeptical at this point that there's this God that's in control, because I'm like, if these fools can control the weather at this point, and actually they've been doing, they could make it rain back in the day, like from the 50s, I think. Back in the day it was called cloud seeding, where they could fill the clouds up, and then next thing you know, it starts raining in a certain area. So don't believe that they can't control the weather. They do. But again, most people believe that people in the media, the powers that be, wouldn't dare lie to them. People really believe that this government wouldn't lie to them because, again, we've been raised with the notion that it's not good to lie. So we are naturally just conditioned to trust our masters. Siobhan said it's all an illusion. And again, with the factors in Kobe Bryant's chart, it shows that he was owned. Even though he had all this money, he was owned. Y'all don't think, if they're going to give him millions, they are much more powerful than he is. And that's true for all of these basketball stars, these football players, all that. I'll be doing a video on Aaron Hernandez soon. And I'm really questioning the official story about him. You always got to wonder when it comes to these pro athletes, but not just the pro athletes, the musicians, the singers, the actors, people that, why are so many mysterious and freak accidents occurring in Hollywood and the music industry and athletics? Like, what's up with that? Scorpio Forever said people don't want to believe other than what they have been programmed in their mind. Now, wait a minute. Candace said fog is very rare in SoCal. Okay. That's something to be taken into consideration. Nurse Tara said, I can't believe people still don't believe all this stuff is going on. It's called cognitive dissonance. They don't want to believe it. They have a hard time reconciling that in their mind because, again, it goes back to the fact that we were all brought up believing that to lie, you're not supposed to lie. So we look at the people in charge as automatically telling us the truth because we've been told that. And I'm not saying that we're supposed to lie. I'm just saying where you've been drilled, it's been drilled into our heads since kids that you're not supposed to lie. You're not supposed to lie. So if that's constantly being drilled into your head, of course, you're just going to naturally trust the people in power because you're going to believe that, oh, they wouldn't lie to us. Why would they be lying on the news? Why would they make this up? That's how people think. Why would they have to lie about this? These people lie. I mean, anytime their mouths are moving, you could just assume that they are lying. Sarah, it sure is Girl Scout cookie season. I see them outside of the Safeway tonight. I never make eye contact with them because I'm like, I am not trying to buy your expensive cookies. Now, those Girl Scout cookies are good, especially those Thin Mints, but I'm not trying to, spend like $10 on a box of cookies that I'm going to eat in one night. No, I'm not. I wouldn't go through a whole box of cookies, but damn it, they're tempting. La Divination said Prince tried to warn us. And remember that tweet that Prince posted right before he died? He said, just when you think you were safe. So I think he even knew that they were coming after him. But again, when your number comes up, there's really nothing you can do. They're going to get you. They're going to find you. You can run, but you can't hide. Scorpio said Prince warned and Michael Jackson. We can start naming a bunch of suspect deaths. Let's start doing that. So Prince is one. I'm going to put suspect deaths, and then I got to get ready and go. Prince is a suspect death, in my opinion. Michael Jackson. Whitney Houston, of course. You got to ask yourself, why are these people dying the way they did? Yes, Biggie and Pop. Why can't I think of Whitney Houston's daughter's name? Bobby Christina. Otis Redding. Tupac. Heath Ledger. River Phoenix. Princess Diana. Left Eye, good. Roger Troutman. Wasn't him and his brother murdered? Pimp C, Aaliyah, Marilyn Monroe. Yup. All of these suspicious deaths. Jimi Hendrix, Anna Nicole Smith. Yup, that's a good one. Somebody already mentioned Left Eye. Who's Jenny Rivera? Brittany Murphy. That's a good one, Aquarian Essence. Yup. I always question Brittany Murphy's death. Amy Winehouse. Yup. Cindy said those Olsen twins were involved in Heath Ledger's death. Somebody said Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is still alive. Oh, let's not forget Joan Rivers. Remember, Joan Rivers died shortly after she said that Michelle Obama was a man. She was like, she's transgender. And then she died shortly after that. Pimp C, yup. We already mentioned that. I know there's some more. I can't think of any right now. Sprinkle Lewis said, religion create God in man's image. God has the same behavior and failures as men. I believe the universe is a higher power that procreates and recycles life. I believe so too. I like what you said, Sprinkle. ODB, yes, I question. Oh yeah, John F. Kennedy Jr. and his wife. Anthony Bourdain, Kurt Cobain, very good. Kate Spade, yes. These are all questionable deaths. Dr. Sabi, I don't know. He was kind of up there in age, but maybe they did take him out. Nipsey Hussle, XXX Tentacion is another one. Marvin Gaye. Well, Marvin Gaye got shot by his father. I don't believe that was a conspiracy. John Lennon, definitely. Selena, yes. Phyllis Hyman, I don't know, because Phyllis Hyman was really depressed. So I'm kind of, questioning that one. Freaky Ta, Jam Master Jay. How about that? Who's John John? Oh yeah, John F. Kennedy Jr. Okay, yeah. I don't know who Juice World is. Tina Marie, she could have been taken out because she was no longer maybe making money. Mozart. Oh yeah, wait a minute, did they kill Mozart? Yeah, that dude, Hilarious or whatever. Malcolm X, of course, yes. You could throw Martin Luther King up in there. Easy E, that's a good one. Sam Cooke, yes. What about Richie Valens, the Lumbamba story? And what's the other one? Buddy Holly, they died in the plane. Was that where Otis Redding was with them? Huey P. Newton, yeah. Who's Kim? Elvis Presley, they could have offed him. But yeah, you got to question these deaths. I don't know about Teddy Pendergrass. That car accident might have been deliberate though. And they just maybe just said once he got paralyzed, he was probably like, well, we just gonna let him just, phase out slowly. John Bonham, you think that was a murder, Candace? Yeah, somebody already mentioned Aaliyah. The riot guy from 1992. Who's that? Vanity and Prince. Robin Williams, yeah, and they even had the predictive program. I think it was on the Simpsons with Robin Williams. I didn't know about Patsy Cline. Paul Walker is another suspicious one. Yeah. Yup. Oh, Kim Porter. Yeah, that's suspicious to me. Candace, you think John Bonham was Jimmy Page's sacrifice? Jimmy Page was into that occult. Tammy Terrell, yeah, she might have been, taken out. What about chick from the Supremes? Florence Ballard. What if Florence Ballard was Diana Ross's sacrifice? Now Don Cornelius, I heard he died from like a brain disorder or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe they took him out too. Oh yeah, didn't Martin Luther King's mother, didn't she die in a house fire, or was that Malcolm X's wife? Cherry Coke. Donda West. Wasn't she like Kanye's sacrifice? I definitely feel like they killed Khalid Muhammad, Dramacidal. Yes. That's a good one. Khalid Muhammad, he was this black radical speaker. He belonged to the Nation of Islam. He was one of their top ministers, and he ended up dead. Didn't they try to say his wife killed him or something? Debbie Reynolds. I know there's some other ones that we're forgetting. I know there's like a few rappers that we're not thinking about. Jennifer Hudson's family, yup. Mm-hmm. Mac Miller, I really didn't know about him. Remember Scott LaRock from Boogie Down Productions? Only true hip hop heads will remember Scott LaRock. What if Scott LaRock was KRS's sacrifice? Debbie Reynolds died a couple of days after her daughter Carrie Fisher. No, what other actress I believe was a sacrifice? Natalie Wood. If anybody knows who Natalie Wood is, but she was a popular actress back in like the 60s and 70s. She died in a boat accident, and I believe that was a hit. Prodigy. Now, Prodigy, maybe Prodigy did get taken out because Prodigy was awake and he was talking about, you know, the Illuminati and stuff. And didn't he even mention Jay-Z? Aquarian Essence said Natalie Woods was killed. She was so pretty too. Y'all, we mentioned Nipsey Hussle. Yo, hey Christina, we mentioned Princess Di. That was definitely a hit. I mean, come on now. Have y'all ever heard of Manchurian Candidate? Who has heard of that term? And then I gotta get ready and go. But has anybody heard the term Manchurian Candidate? Because some of these people, I believe they get taken out by Manchurian candidates. Like for instance, Princess Di's driver, he could have been a Manchurian candidate. And he crashed into that divider under that bridge. There's actually a movie. There's two versions of this movie. It started off being a book, The Manchurian Candidate. Denzel Washington is in the movie, in the more recent version, but then there's an older version. Basically, it means a program assassin. And the program assassin has no idea that they're committing these murders. Basically, they have this trigger word, like they could call the person up, say boogity boo or something like that. And next thing you know, the person is all like, I have to kill the queen. Anybody remember what movie is that from? Please tell me. Remember, he was like, but no, that's right. In this movie, they kind of tell you how they do it. What movie is that where he's like, I have to kill the queen? It's a comedy from like the late 80s or early 90s. And they set off this little thing, and then all of a sudden he turns into a zombie and he's like, I have to kill the queen. Yes, Angela, the Naked Gun. That was Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson was a popular baseball player, and they had him playing the Manchurian Candidate in that movie. So there's a lot of movies that give you clues as to what goes on. Al Roker, he's programmed. I do remember. Did anybody see that clip of Al Roker where he just became frozen after somebody said, I forgot what word they said, and he just became frozen. Like he had like a brain glitch. But you can find quite a few videos of like TV news anchors and stuff that just like, it's almost like they're robots, and then they have a glitch, and then they start stuttering, or they start being like, and it's like, are they even human? That's another thing I wanted to talk about for Aquarius season. I think we got some people walking around in these modern days and times that are not human. I think there's more than meets the eye with some people out here. I think I know technology is more advanced than what they claim. Oh yeah, JonBenet Ramsey. Very suspicious. Oh yeah, Bill Cosby's son. That's a good one. That seemed like some sacrifice too. And let's not forget that transgender prostitute that died shortly after they caught Eddie Murphy with her in a cab. Well, no, I think he was in his car. He claimed that he picked her up because she needed a ride or something. Next thing you know, she ends up dead, thrown out a window. Eric Clapton's son, David Carradine. That's right. That was a suspicious death. Remember, he died. They were saying it was autoerotic asphyxiation or something. Yes, Eddie Murphy. Yup, the prostitute that he was seeing, supposedly just giving her a ride, ended up being thrown out of a window, dead. So even though we see certain people and we think they look cool and they seem like nice people like Eddie Murphy, you'll be surprised what people will do to cover shit up. Michael Hutchins, yes. It's What You Need. He was the lead singer of NXS. I love those songs. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I got to let you know. I got to let you know. You think Charlie Murphy, Rendezvous? Salacious, you said they saw each other regularly? Yup, John inside of somebody mentioned Sam Cooke. I want to know who's going to be next. Who's going to be next on the hit list? Scorpio Forever said, heck yes, people over stuff up all the time. Salacious said, Chris Rock said he knows a cleaner. I'm sure he does. You think Britney Spears might be next? They might take her out? Yo, the entertainment world, that is a scary world. Donny Hathaway is another suspect one. You think Bobby DeBarge was taken out? Ekron, I was saying that virus, I believe that is being trumped up. Not saying that it doesn't really exist, but I believe that, this was all perfectly timed. Like, they know when they're going to release this stuff. I believe that they be releasing this stuff on the mass. And when I say they, I'm talking about the evils that be. Angela said a lot of readers keep predicting Trump will be taken out. He may well be. Hey, Kron. So you said it's 9 a.m. here in Amsterdam. Good morning. Well, good morning to you. How do you say that in Amsterdam? Is it Goedentag? Or is that the wrong country? Spectacular Rich Beauty and Brilliance said, whomever is rebelling against the grain. See, if I had a yacht, that's what I would name my yacht. Spectacular Rich Beauty and Brilliance. That's one of my guilty pleasures, y'all, because I got Sun conjoined to Neptune. I got Pisces intercepted in my second house. I like to just watch videos of like expensive yachts. And I just like watching things about sailing and life on the sea and cruises and stuff. But lately I've been getting into those yachts, boy. Oh my God, some of those yachts are absolutely gorgeous the way they have them designed. So Guten Tag is German. My bad. So it's Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Wait, am I saying it right? Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Candace said he is fighting hard not to be taken out. Loud Divination said Cat Williams was telling the truth. Cherry Love said, I was wondering why Lil named his album that. Is anybody ready to die now? How about when Biggie Smalls put out that album, Ready to Die? Come on now. And then after he dies, the album is released, Life After Death. But is anybody here ready to die? And before I go, I was watching some programs on this too. So I'm going to throw this question out there. Like, is anybody willing to admit that, like, either they're ready to die or they wouldn't mind if they die, like, pretty soon? Is anybody fed up with life? And I'm not talking about where you're suicidal because you're depressed. I should hold a theme cruise and invite all of y'all. That'd be dope. If we had a astrology cruise, we'd be tearing that shit up. Naturally, Tahira said, what the fuck? No. Or what, my question about death? So nobody's ready to go? Nobody's ready to check out? Indigo said, been ready to go. I respect your honesty. I like that. And some people just feel that way. Like, and you could say maybe people that feel that way are old souls. It's like they done been here, done that. They're tired. It's like, I'm tired. I ain't doing it no more. I'm tired. Like how the mama said on Cooley High. Y'all remember that scene from Cooley High when Preacher's mama come home and she was like, you know I got 3 jobs. And now you done gone and got yourself arrested. She was like, go up there and get that belt. And he's like, I'm sorry, Mom. She's like, go up there and get that belt. Then she'd be like, I'm tired. I ain't doing no more. I'm tired. With that big ass mole on her face. Speaking of mole, what's up with Chrissy and Jim Jones? I saw a little clip of Love and Hip Hop, and now Jim Jones is like basically telling Chrissy that he want to get married. And now she like, nah, it's cool that we just stay single at this point. She know good and well he wasn't serious. That was just for the cameras. I think they're just staying together for the coins from that show. I don't even think they're really together like that. Yes, I've seen The Education of Sonny Carson. I love that movie. He was like, I'll put a trademark around your fucking eye. Burn him. Ella says she don't want to marry him. And how come Jim Jones always look like he just woke up and got out of bed? I know he be high all the time. He even got a dispensary business, which more power to him with that. But Jim Jones, he always looked like he just rolled out of bed. He always be like, yeah, 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 yeah. Them lips. He got them baloney lips. Yeah. Eyes barely open. I'm like, damn, Jim. He need a cold shower. Wake the fuck up. He does seem like a bum. With them baloney lips. And as soon as I see Jim Jones, I knew. I was like, he is a Cancer all day. Because he just has that classic Cancer, even down to looking all sleepy and shit. Rendezvous said Jim seems slow. Naturally to hear it said a sexy bum. Scorpio Forever said he seems lazy. Yes, Siobhan, he looked dirty. He definitely looked like he always needs a bath and a smooth shave. That's what Salacia said. Look at you. My husband said, look at you. Do y'all remember that commercial? Wait, what commercial was that? It was something about losing weight as they. And the black lady was like, my husband said, look at you. My kids used to love that commercial. They would always say that part. Damn, what commercial was that? Rendezvous said he looked like he has a semi-hard Dusty D. Dusty and crusty. It looked like, you remember that Indigo? I knew somebody would. But Jim Jones looked like he has days where he can't get it up. Rendezvous said, Mama Jones, wait a minute. Ikran says, should I get the Japanese straightening treatment on my hair? I like this question. I have curly hair. I'm scared to damage it. Hey, I never heard of this Japanese treatment. What is it? Is it a chemical or is it like that Brazilian blowout? Thank you for your donation. I think this is the first time I got, what is that, the euro? I think it's the first time I got euros. Thank you. At least on, the super chat. Should I get the Japanese straightening treatment on my hair? I have curly hair and I'm scared to damage it. All right, let's see. It's going to be interesting to see what card comes up. That'd be funny if the strength card comes up with that lion with the curly mane. Ooh, girl, you got the judgment card. It looks like you'll be fine if you get the Japanese treatment. That actually looks like a hair dryer right here. Look at her hair. Look how straight that hair is. Look at that. It's all down her back. She got length and strength. Matter of fact, if I was to have a hair care product line, that's what I would call it. It would be called Length and Strength, honey. Look at that. Oh, you need to donate at least $5. If you could cash app it to me, that'd be better because YouTube be like taking like 30%. Here's my cash app. So if you want a one card reading, if anybody want a one card reading before I log off, and I will be logging off soon. But where you at, Ikran? Did you get the answer? The answer is yes. Go ahead and get that Japanese straightening treatment. Ikran says, so it will grow long to my back. Well, it can. There's the potential, but once you get it straightened, you're gonna have to take care of it. It's going to be up to you to keep it healthy, to keep that length, to promote that length and strength. One thing I will tell you, try to refrain from using a hair dryer as much as possible because that is dry heat. That's going to just give you a bunch of split ends. Kate After Dark said, what products do you like? Actually, there's this product that my client has. Oh, God. Why can't I think of the name real quick? And I can't get up right now. But I had featured it on one of my live streams. Oh, this is bad. I can't think of the name. because it's getting late. But anyway, I like to use what works. Mm-hmm. 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 What am I humming? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What song is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Jefferson. Woo! Yes, the Jeffersons. I think only black women can moan like that. I've never heard no other race of a woman that can moan like that. The moan that keeps the folks at home. I guess that was from our slavery days. You had to keep moaning to stay happy or just to even make it through the day. The ancestor moan is that I'm tired moan. Lord, I'm tired. Take me down, Lord. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. Tritonic said my mom moans like that, but my dad is black, so that says something. Yeah, your dad taught her how to moan all right. He was like, I'm gonna teach your ass how to moan like a black woman. Yes. Who sang that song at the end of the Jefferson? That's what I want. Look, when I die, I want like 3 moaners at my funeral. I want them to moan. They be gonna be like, Salacia said the Women of Brewster Place was sung by Vesta. Oh yes, I love that song by Vesta for the Women of Brewster's Place. Indigo Child said Janae Dubois, aka Winona from Good Time. She sang that? She was moaning like that? Hey, Tracism. Siobhan said, that's why I ain't ready to die yet. I got a few more moans left in me, right? I want some professional moaners and criers at my funeral. Yes, I want a woman that's going to be like rolling on the floor. So, oh, she going to be like, take me, Jesus. Yes, Jesus loves me. Mm-mm-mm. Soon will be done. Trouble of the world. That was that song from Imitation of Life. At the end, when the mama died, and then the girl want to realize she's black at that time, and she go on top of the coffin talk about Baba, Baba. I'm like, you didn't give a fuck about your mama when she was alive. Now you want to be all crying over her coffin and shit. And then Mahalia Jackson was all like, soon will be done. Trouble of the world. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Who sent me a cash app? K baby. For Will moving. You said for Will. What you say? What's your question? For Will moving to Las Vegas. I can't see the whole question. Hold on. Send me your question again. Yup, Mahalia tore that song up. Mahalia would have that tight ass bun. That's why she was moaning. So that's why she was singing Trouble of the World. She was like, mm-hmm. Or like when you first get braids in your hair, ooh, you be moaning like, mm-hmm. You be swearing you be like close to death with them tight ass braids in your hair. Rendezvous said Mahalia was no joke on the vocals. Siobhan said all the people that be crying be the ones that owe the deceased money, right? Chrissy said that movie creeped me out as a child. Thank you, Scorpio. Okay, somebody sent me a question about moving to Vegas, but you gotta post your question here because I can't see the whole thing. Naturally, to hear it. Oh, you said, will moving to Las Vegas be a good move? All right, let's see. I like that question too. And thank you for your super chat. Who else? Scorpio forever. I'll answer your question in a minute. What other Negro spiritual can I sing real quick? Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Oh, remember this? Some of y'all ain't gonna know this movie, but remember this? In the beginning of the movie, he's like, "Can you hear me shouting? I'm building me a home, my Lord." So I got a story about that. So we went to go see this movie, me and my family, back when it first came out. And when that intro to that movie started, where he was like, "So you hear me shouting? I'm building me a home." A white family got up and walked out. We was cracking up. They was like, "Oh, we in the wrong movie." What movie is that? I'm building me a home, my Lord. This earthly house is gonna soon begin. And when you hear me shouting, come on, what movie is that? All right, will moving to Las Vegas be a good move? To hear us say, will it be prosperous? No, okay, there you go, Hidden Tower. You got it. School days. I want to know, is it worth it? Trying to get this way, trying to get this way. I know I should love you. You're always feeding me lie, always feeding me lie. Now I stay home waiting. You got 4 wands, girl. You better go to Vegas, hit them slots, do it. That 4 wands is a new home, new foundations. And usually you can't get a more positive card than the 4 wands when it comes to relocating, moving to a new home, moving to a new location. So peace, blessings, and good luck with that. All right, who else? I want to let you know I'm not just for show. Either you let me go or give me love, love, love. You gotta understand. All right, Scorpio forever. I love school days, so I know all the songs. Why is this Cancer man I'm dealing with not fighting for me? And it's being so nonchalant, but gets in his feelings when I ghost him. That's how they can be, girl. So why is he not fighting for me? Well, you mean fighting for you? Are you with somebody else? Why isn't this Cancer man fighting for you? I just want to stop and tell you how I feel about you, babe. I just want to stop. You got the Page of Cups. He's not really good about like opening up and like being aggressive. He's the type that would wait on the sidelines for you. And I've known quite a few Cancer men to do that, where they could be very passive, but then the minute you ain't there, you know, when they need you or whatever, then they could basically flip out. But yeah, Cancer men be in their moods, and they could be very some of them could be very introverted. Some of them are going to need some downtime from you. So don't expect him to be fighting for you, because you're probably already giving him what he wants when he wants it. Hey, Stacey Adams shoes. Hey, Stacey Adams. All right. What's your question, Stacey? But yeah, that Page of Cups, that's like him being in his moods where he don't feel like he's not the aggressive type. He's not going to fight for you. As long as you give him what he wants and when he wants it, when he needs it. I can't deal with a Cancer man either. Baby's older brother was a sacrifice. I ain't even gonna lie. Know who I think is ugly but a little sexy? What's that guy that was that Baby's older brother? Is that the one I'm talking about? What was his name? He wasn't a rapper, but he's dark skinned. He had that big nose, and he was part of the Cash Money Millionaires, but he wasn't a rapper though. I think he was related to them, but it's like he sexy ugly. You know, you got some men that, you know, they can be ugly but sexy at the same. Slim, y'all already know who I'm talking about. Slim could get it. Slim could get it, and you know that D was not Slim. Thank you. Yes, I'm talking about Slim Salacious. Slim could get it with his ugly ass. Yes, yes. Some men, sometimes I could make an exception. You could ill all you want. I don't know, something about that dude. Woo! Remember, I said the same thing about Bill Duke. I don't know. There's just something that he got that je ne sais quoi. He probably got Chiron an aspect to his Mars and shit, like positive aspect. Joel said I must be in the wrong chat group. Wait a minute, somebody sent me a question. Who? Stacey Adams, where you at? Let me see if you posted a question. Stacey Adams, where's your question? Oh, you didn't post your question. Post your question in the chat. Thank you for your Cash App. Roxy Roker sang the song to Jefferson. She did? Oh wow. Rendezvous said, that's my type. Just put a paper bag over his head. Nicole said, yeah, he looked like he working with some, right? That's what I'm saying. I've been with a couple of ugly dudes in my day. Like, I wasn't in a relationship with them. I wasn't crazy, but, you know, I let them hit it. Because I was like, I know you're going to be a good time. I was like, all I got to do is just bend over. I don't even got to look at your face. Hate the thought of it. Let me look up this Slim again and make sure I'm not crazy. But he just got that. He got that. He got that look. Color you peach and black. Color me taking it back. Crucial. I think I want you. You got the look. You got the hook. Yeah, that's an ugly motherfucker, but he could get some. Showing up to be cooking in my book. Manny Fresh always looked funny to me. He looked like somebody's grandma or auntie. Showing up to be cooking in my book. Yeah, Slim just needs to put a sheet over his head. We could get busy. Y'all know I'm playing. No, honestly, it do look like he packing some pounds. If love is good, there you go. Let's get to ramming. You got the look. Y'all think I'm crazy as shit for talking about Slim. Stacey Adams shoes. Will me and my adult son ever have a mutually good relationship? That's a good question. Let's get to ramming. You got the look. I used to love when Manny Fresh would do that dance. He was a weird looking dude though. You got the look. You got the look. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. A dream we all dream of. Oh, please. There's my Cash App. Boy versus girl. Thank you, Krista. All right, so you want to know, thank you for your Cash App. I'll post your question. You want to know, wait, Stacy wants to know again. Let me see. You said, will my son, I got to just go back to your, you said, will me and my adult son ever have a mutually good relationship? Showing up to be cooking in my book. Your face is slamming. You got the look. You got the wheel of fortune. So know that things can improve between the two of you, but it could be up and down. So you could have some good years, some bad years. You could have some good times, some bad times. Basically, you can't expect too much too soon, but you know, y'all relationship could improve where y'all had that mutual respect going on, but know that it's going to be rather still unstable for the most part. Do you want to zone my way? Do you want to zone my way? Lenny Kravitz, what's up, Jules? Do you want to go my way? And I got to know. All right. Who was that sent me the Cash App? Let me see. Because I don't know if you posted. Krista Curry. Let's see. Oh, your name is. Oh, say it ain't Roto. Risotto. I like to call you Risotto. Where you at, Risotto? Okay, Risotto. Should I shoot my shot 2020? I like when y'all girls be like, should I shoot my shot? I'm like, yeah, shoot your shot, girl. With sex or a relationship, I've been in a hermit mode trying to get life in order, but overdue for some time. Girl, I know about that hermit mode. So say it ain't Rhoda wants to know, should she shoot her shot in 2020? Okay, let's say. Yup, Nicole. When I go live, the one card readings, that's a mainstay now. So should say it ain't Roto shoot her shot? Mushroom risotto. Oh, wait, she got the devil card. She about to get that D. Go get the D, girl. Go get it. 2020, shoot your shot. The devil said, shoot your shot. The devil said, come get it. The devil said, come get this D. That devil card is sex all day, honey. So sex, not a relationship. Don't think you're going to get into a relationship. Don't think you're going to turn some good D into a relationship, but have fun. This is the year to have some fun, you know, get your freak on. All right. Who else? It was somebody else. I swear. I think I answered everybody. Okay. All right. I got to get ready and go, y'all. I'm going to give it 10 more minutes. Then I really got to go. I really got to go. Oh, Shante Monchetti. Salacia said, when the devil tell you to come get that D, you come get it. That's what I'm talking about. Get that D, girl. And get enough for me, too. Because I ain't getting shit this year. I don't even want none of that stuff. Because I'm a lady. Uh-oh, I'm hearing some coins. So, all right, whoever sent that Cash App, provide your question, please. Thank you, Marcus. Marcus said, I have Pluto and Scorpio 27 degrees in the 8th house retrograde and also Pisces rising at the 16th degree. Are these good aspects to have? Well, that Pisces rising at the 16th degree, hopefully you're doing something on the artistic tip with that. If you're not, hopefully you're some type of healer, whether you're a massage therapist, Reiki practitioner, or you could work in the medical field. Pluto and Scorpio 27 degrees. That 27 is very powerful. It can make you victorious over anybody that is trying to overpower you or any rivals that you have. That is really good for being a leader in certain situations, but you got to watch out for that because that 27 degree, there could always be some secrets going on, especially with a sex partner. Real Blackula, thank you for your super chat. You said, what does Uranus and North Node in Scorpio in the first house mean? Sexual liberation, baby. So you got to be liberated in terms of your sexuality, number one. Number two, you have to be very much about making the most out of your fate. So your life could be heavily fated at times. So you got to learn how to roll with the punches. Also, you might be meant to be some type of influencer on YouTube or social media. You might become prominent on social media with that hookup. Also, you're meant to basically be a change agent, be an agent for change. See something in the world that you don't like and change it. So you might be a bit of an activist as well. You might be a truth seeker. You might be a conspiracy theorist. You might be very much about being in the truth movement. All right. Okay, Angela, you just sent one. So Angela said, thank you, Angela. Angela, you said we have been talking online for a while, but I want to take it to the next level, next step. My birthday is October 24th. 24th is one of the best days to be born. His is oh shit. This is August 18th. Girl, I done dealt with an 18 August. Oh my God. Oh my, no, I'm just I'm acting up. No, but I did deal with a guy that was born on that exact day, August 18th, and he was a murderer. No, I'm just playing. He wasn't a murderer, but he was an ex-Marine though, but that's close enough. But you said we've been talking online for a while, but I want to take it to the next step. My birthday is October 24th. His is August 18th. Will you be able to take it to the next step? I bet you he got a nice body. I hope he does, being an 18 and a Leo. Does he have a nice body, Angela? Is that what got you hooked? It's going to be hard taking this to the next level. Look, let me tell you something about these Leo men, especially those born on the 18th. They're not trying to settle down. They're going to try to stretch it out as long as possible. So if you are providing the milk, why buy the heifer? You're providing the milk for free. If you really want to take it to the next step, you might have to pull back a little bit and let him know that you need something serious or you're trying to grow in this situation. Angela Knight said he does. That uniform too. Yeah, so he got that nice 18 body, but the 18 problems come with it. Nurse Tara said, you sent me a super a Cash App, Tara? Thank you. Nurse Tara said, should me and my husband separate? Been together 20 years. He's a June 24th Cancer. That's why you've been with him so long. And rising, sun and rising, Sagittarius moon. I'm 0 degree Aquarius sun. That's why y'all always get into it, always arguing and stuff. So you're a 0 degree Aquarius sun and Venus, moon in Gemini, Leo, right? Damn, have you cheated on him yet? So you want to know, should y'all separate? Now, you'll probably feel liberated. He'll probably feel like his world about to end. Oh, yeah, I should have mentioned 7 of Cups. I'm sorry, Angela, but that's not a good sign for taking a relationship to the next level. Let me tell you something. This dude wants options. I won't be surprised if he's on some dating sites right now. Do you know what he's doing right now? He's probably on some dating sites, or he's probably Snapchatting some bitch with his dick out. I'm sorry. All right, wait, where was I at? Okay. Should Nurse Tara and her Cancer man separate? They've been together for 20 years. You're welcome, Angela. I'm making it sound worse than what it could be, but you never want to give an 18 the benefit of the doubt. Because just when you do, they're going to show you their ass. Salacious. Oh, man. Okay, so you got the Page of Wands. Where you at? Hold up. Where you at? Nurse Tower, you got the Page of Wands. That's a card where it's like, it's time to be more independent and go your own way. For real. So your answer is yes. It's time to separate. But you're going to have to let him down gently because his heels are firmly dug into this marriage. He's not trying. I don't see him. Yeah, Nurse is ready to go. She wrecked to go. Wait a minute. What is that from? In Living Color, remember Wanda would be like, I got you, and I'm ready to go. Nurse Tara said he don't want to let go. Of course he don't want to let go, but he going to have to let go. The sooner he find another woman, the better. You might even want to try to look for another woman for him. I might put together a Tinder account and find a woman for his ass. You know, I'm sure you got plenty of pictures of him, and just set up an account for him, and then, you know, help him find a woman so you could slip on out of there. Thank you, Rachel. Let me see. You said, oh, thank you for the thought of it. I rarely get those for the thought of it donations. Thank you so much. Rendezvous said Cancers lock you in when you want to run. There's Cray. Ekron said, can a Gemini moon be faithful? Yeah, they could be faithful. Yup. So just because you got Gemini energy don't mean that you're going to be a low down, dirty, rotten scoundrel, even though a lot of them are. But the good thing about Gemini, a lot of times Gemini isn't going to promise you anything from the get-go, unlike other signs where they'll promise you things and then still cheat on you and treat you like crap. A lot of times people know exactly where a Gemini is coming from before they get in too deep with them. So a lot of times it's on the other person when they get in deep with a Gemini. Oh, my green lipstick is wearing off. That means I gotta go soon. This lipstick is by, I think this is L'Oreal. It's called Serpentine. I told you, Aquarius, serpent. Rendezvous said the Cancer men, if you want them, they run, but act like you don't care. They hold tight. Yup. Tara's husband, he about to be, them pillows is about to be soaking wet when she break the news to him. But see, he should have acted better. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, that's why I chose this green. I would never wear this out, I don't think. Maybe to a, got skin on my lip. That's not cute. Imagine you going out on a date, you think you looking cute, then you end up getting green lipstick on your teeth. I hate going out on dates. Anybody hate going out on dates? Thank you, Nicole. What's your question? I hate going out on dates. What the hell is on my lip? Anybody give head so well that your lips are like sore afterwards? Rendezvous said, I hate blind dates. Say It Ain't Roto said, yes, especially blind dates. Indigo Child said, I hate going out on dates too. Nurse Tara said he don't want to act right. He needs to grow up. Cancers can be babyish, some of them. Scorpio Forever said, yes, mine would fake cry in my office on some weird shit. Oh, man, that's one thing you don't do. Don't bring your crybaby ass to the office. Nurse Tara said, oh, Salacia said, nope, it never takes that long. Anybody ever get sore lips as a result of, like, going hard on the head game? Scorpio Forever said, oh, my God, my head game be leaving me sore. There you go. She be putting in that work. Adrian said, I did it so good, my jaws hurt. Ooh-wee. Jules Verne said, I like being sore afterwards. You nasty. Siobhan said, my lips don't get sore from head. After a while, that shit is like work. I was saying that to somebody the other day. We were agreeing on that. Like, after a while, like, in my book, I'm like, you got a good 10 minutes with me. And if you ain't doing the business in 10 minutes, I'm done. I'm off of work. I'm clocking out. Because after a while, it stops being about pleasure and it's about work. And you like, God damn. Lips be all starting to crack and bleed and shit. You need that damn Carmex and shit. Jules Verne said olive oil. And I don't see how them prostitutes be doing it where they be using condoms and stuff. I know their lips be burning. But yeah, I'm like, again, I'm over that. I'm over trying to like work all hard to please a man. I'm like, what are you doing for me? Think about it. Men have it easy. Well, I'm not going to say they have it easy, but when it comes to the oral, they have it easier than we do because it's all soft down there with us. And then with men, they got that hard pole. And it's like, that could be hard on your lips and your mouth after a while. Mouth be all dried out and shit. Can't even produce any more spit. You be like, damn. You be throwing a peppermint in your mouth and shit, burning his dick off. Ekron said, am I the only one? I'm not going to say the word, but I'm going to say, am I the only one who likes to drink spunk? It all depends on what the flavor is. Salacia said, I think because it's my favorite thing to do in all the land. Salacia said, I don't see it as work. When you dealt with some of the guys I did where it, like they just ain't, it ain't happening with them. Oh my God. I'd be like, I can't, I'm done. Cherry said they watch too much porn and they think we could do the same. You get done, your lips be like 3 sizes bigger than what they started off with. Christina said, back in the day when I was like 17, 18, I was with a 35-year-old and we pop ecstasy. I go so long that the inside of my lips would be cut up from me covering my lips with my teeth. And I loved it. What you got in Scorpio, Christina? God damn. Yo, Scorpios, y'all ain't happy unless some pain is involved. You know how choking is all the trend now? In a few years, it's going to be like, yeah, that he gave me a black eye, girl. It was the best punch in the face I ever got. Girl, he twisted my nipple so hard it damn near came off. Girl, he munched on my clit so hard. Scorpio forever. Oh my God, I love pleasure and pain. Jerry loves it. I'm not swallowing that itch. Indigo said, what in the Capricorn? Oh, Nicole, where's your question? Where's your question? I'm sorry. I'm all losing myself in the whole oral sex thing. Wait a minute, where is your question? Should I start dating this year? That's a good question. Should I start dating this year? And I don't like when men just automatically expect that stuff where they just pull it out and they just like your mouth ain't even open and it's like just poking you in your cheek and you're like, excuse me, can I take my coat off first? So Nicole asked, should I start dating this year? Excuse me, can I take my mittens off? Remember people used to wear mittens? That was actually a true story too. Fool couldn't even wait for me to get settled and shit. I felt like a $2 whore. Salacious said that's how you snatch up his soul when he say he's coming, start deep throwing, don't stop. Oh, girl, here's your answer about should you start dating this year. You can get the D, but I wouldn't be dating anybody this year with the prospects you're going to have because that's all they're going to want from you anyway. Yeah, another story, Indigo. Yes. There have been times where I felt like a $2 whore on Taco Tuesday. Rendezvous said, I'm surprised not getting rushed. Adrian said, I love pleasure and pain too. That's why I have 2 tongues. She got 2 tongue rings. Double your pleasure, double the fun. You ever have 2 D's in your mouth at the same time? What y'all think about that? Like if y'all was doing, like if y'all had a threesome, like ladies in particular, if you had a threesome with 2 guys, right? And they both wanted to like put it in your mouth at the same time. Is that gay or is that just freaky? Like, does that mean they're gay if the 2 heads are touching each other? I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my favorite scenes in porn. She be like, then she be like, she be putting it together because she want to see what these dudes gonna do. She want to see how far they gonna go. Ekron said, yes, I had it 2 guys. So Malcolm says that's gay. Tracy says ew. Scorpio says gay. Nurse Tara said D at it one time. Usually quiet Scorpio said I'm dying laughing. Mel said gay. Christina said no ma'am, that's homosexual. Cherry Love said that's gay. That's some Gemini bitches. You stop giving them head and they still rubbing their dicks together. I'm just killing my monetization right now. I'm just terrible. But y'all know I gotta get raw sometimes. Chrissy said yes when they touch. Yes, very gay. But you know that shit feel good when they do that. Tracy said, first of all, no threesomes. Rhonda said, my friend said a lady banged his and his friend's D together, and then he said, take mine out. Wait a minute, let me read that again. My friend said a lady banged his and his friend's D together, and then he said, take mine out. Jules said, I know men don't like to touch during a threesome. I mean, I think I know. Cherry Love said, I did watch lesbo porn for the first time. Can't lie, it looked good. Hell yeah, that's better than heterosexual porn. Especially if like it's two Hispanic women. Oh my God, they be over the top with, I bueno, mi Georgia. Oh, mi Georgia. And the girl said, women watch gay porn. Nicole said, yeah, Aquarius would love that. Cherry Love said that scissoring. Yup, that's an old school term too. That's what they used to call lesbians back in the day. They'd be like, they doing that scissor thing. They doing the scissors. The thought of it, you send me a cash app? Yes, bueno. Rendezvous said, does that make us bisexual watching lesbian porn? Well, you know, it can mean that you're attracted to the same sex, but you may not act on it. Just because you're attracted to something, you may not act on it. Scorpio Forever said, I like when they toot. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be too X-rated on here. Yup, scissor sisters. Or they would say carpet munchers. Clam diggers. Cherry Love, I'll be doing a how-to video on that in a few weeks, so just stay tuned. I will be demonstrating. No, I'm just playing. Oh, Poppy. Jules said it's very natural for women to like women porn as long as there's some girth waiting around. Now, and you know, a lot of women are just the fairer sex. Let's be real. Like women are they just come across as more sensual. So it would make sense that a lot of women get off more on watching lesbian porn than heterosexual porn. Siobhan said, ain't nothing wrong with a little lesbian porn. I don't see nothing wrong with some lesbian porn. I don't see nothing wrong. That's one of my goals, Indigo. Hook it up for me. You got connections in the industry. I don't see nothing wrong with some lesbian porn. I don't see nothing wrong. Remember that R. Kelly remix? Sit down on the couch, take your shoes off. Let me rub your body before I tear it off. I shouldn't be singing his song, should I? All right, Angela, what's your question? You said, should I take... Oh, no, that's... All right, wait a minute. It was somebody else that had a question. Was it the thought of it? I got to get off soon, for real. I got to finish something. You said you want to do stand-up and sex parties and bathhouse. Hell yeah, I will go wild. I will, you know they want to hear the rawness. I will be so raw and raunchy. Call me Bette Midler. That's where she got her start, in the gay bathhouses. And wait a minute. Didn't you just ask me that? Should I take this online relationship further? Okay, I'll answer that. Wait a minute. The thought of it. Where's your question? Let me go back. Let me answer the thought of this question first, because I got to get ready and go, and I want to make sure I get everybody. The thought of it said, yes, I did. Oh, let me see. Oh, you said, am I going to get into a relationship this year? Wait a minute. Is that the question I answered with the devil card? I'm losing track. What's some good loving? Oh, so wait a minute. So I didn't answer your question. So you said, will I be in a relationship this year? Let's see. So will the thought of it be in a relationship this year? Ooh, child, things are going to get a little freakier. And I'm going to have you singing like a mockingbird. Word. Okay, you got the deaf card, so I'm going to say no. So just get into yourself this year. If you do happen to get in a relationship, most likely it's not going to last long at all. Don't front, you know, about the rodeo show. All right. I'm going to get off in 5 minutes, I swear. Scorpio forever said, why do men go crazy over it, though? Crazy over what? Yeah, here's my website, Nurse Tara. Oh, Jules, you wow. You are wow. Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you, Indigo. Hell yeah. I do want to do, I would love to do stand-up. Do y'all think that enough people are into astrology where they would get my jokes? I wouldn't be all intricate with the astrological terms, but do you think there's enough people that know about the sun sign astrology where they would get my jokes? Thank you, Indigo. Oh, you're welcome, Nurse Tara. Right? I can add it in my set. People are getting more into astrology, which is a good thing. Right? A lot of people don't even want to admit it. Like, some of them won't even tell their closest friends, like, yeah, I got a natal chart, like, because they feel like they're going to be made fun of. But shoot, I would like to put my show on the road for real. Salacious said, as long as it's an intelligent crowd. And I'm real animated too. Y'all haven't even seen me when I stand up. So yeah. I'm like, what type of comedian am I? I'm like, you know how you got them comedians that just stand there like Mike Epps, but then you got the other comedians that are very animated. Like Kevin Hart, he's very animated. Martin Lawrence, he's very animated with his stand-up. There's some other ones. Christina said yes, especially if you just keep it to the sun signs. Yes, Samora is very animated. I love Samora. She is one of my favorite female comics. I think she's funnier than Monique. Much more funnier than Monique. Then she like, here come the motherfucking side effects. The motherfucking side effects. What else did she talk about? Like, I love when she talked about how she didn't have no ass and like she really stuck it in when she, like, if she was going to get locked up, she was like, leave me alone, leave me alone. Wait a minute, Rachel, did you post your question? Where are you at, Rachel? Rachel Ray? Remember Rachel Ray? She was hella annoying. Always looking like she over 8. Where's Rachel? Rachel. Rachel. Wait a minute, there was a question that I had asked people. I don't think nobody answered. Well, oh, I'm gonna have to talk about this during part 2. But I wanted to. But now that we're winding down, I'm not even gonna get on this serious topic. Indigo said, "You want to stand up, do stand up in sex parties and bathhouses." I know I read that already, but I was just thinking, like, yeah, I would do it, but I have to have a body condom on because I ain't trying to catch nothing up in there. Cherry Love said, have you ever done a reading about Charlemagne? Briefly during one of my Ace of Cups radio show episodes, but I didn't go in depth on his chart. He really has me questioning his sexuality since he gave DJ Envy that butt, that fake butt of his with the balls just hanging out. You said that's my first joke. Rachel, where you at? Wait, you said for question in the live chat. I don't see the question. Wait a minute. Envy actually oiled the ass up? Yo, Envy. Wow. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. You know, I didn't know what teabagging was until, like, what year was it that somebody told me what teabagging was? I think it was like 2008. I was like, what's teabagging? And then my coworker told me. I was like, are you serious? Because she started off saying, yeah, me and I was hanging out with my friends last night, and John teabagged Ralph, and I was like, "What's teabag?" And she was like, "I was like, what's teabag?" She was like, "You don't know what teabag is?" And when she told me, I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "That shit is funny." I wish some dude would teabag me. I would grab them nuts so hard and twist them. He would have instant prostate cancer dealing with me. Has anybody been teabagged? And I don't mean during sex, but where some guy did that as a joke. Rendezvous said, okay, Envy looks like a Virgo, young looking. Envy look like he ain't working with nothing to be envious over. I don't know why his name is DJ Envy. You can tell he don't got shit. I'm like, what people are envious over you about? You might like it, girl. Them balls all sweaty, getting stuck to your forehead and shit. Gotta peel them off. Them balls be getting sweaty and sticky. Oh, he looks like a Pisces. That makes sense if Envy's a Pisces. He even sounds like one. He looks cartoonish even. Some Pisces people got this cartoonish look. Oh, so Envy's a Virgo. Where are y'all getting this information? One person said he's a Pisces. Somebody else said he's a Virgo. Charlamagne got issues. If I was his wife, I'd be sleeping in another room by now. They probably already do. And it looked like his ass stink. I ain't even gonna lie. You know how you just look at somebody and you just look at it, just seemed like as soon as they take their pants off, their ass just stinking. Charlamagne looked like his ass stink. Nicole, okay, September 3rd. How did we get on Tamar? You could tell Charlamagne don't wipe right. Even if he got the wet wipes. His wife be stocking up on the man wipes and shit. Scorpio forever said he's angry because he wants to come out and can't. Christy said, I thought I read somewhere that he was a Pisces, but yes, he's a Virgo. Maybe he's a Pisces moon. He looks very soft. I know that. Cottonelle soft. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yes, she does. Yes, that's a perfect example. Tamar with her cartoonish self. She looked like a Muppet. So DJ Envy has a Taurus moon. Contemplating Key said Envy is a Virgo. I don't like that Angela Yee. Even her voice gets on my nerves. She seems like a traitor. What's her sign? Like, I wouldn't be able to trust her as far as I could throw her. What's Angela Yee's sign? But I know one thing. Oh, I was going to say something. Oh, I'm not going to say it. Yeah, DJ Envy got that struggle weight thing going on. So Angela Yee's a Capricorn. She get on my damn nerves. I don't like her. Indigo said a boring ass. She is boring as hell. She is. And then she talks with this little snobby, oh yeah, that's the Capricorn. Okay. She talks with this little snobby air. Cherry Love says sometimes she says she's Asian, sometimes she says she's half black. See, I don't trust a person like that. That sometimes I say, you know, as long as it fits, you know, what fits the situation. Oh, I'm gonna shut the light off. Yeah. Sometimes I'm Asian, sometimes I'm half black. She implies her dating. Wasn't she trying to push up on somebody else and then they put her on blast? I'm trying to think who it was. And he was like, nah, you was trying to push up on me. And she was like, no, I wasn't. I wasn't trying to push up on you. I agree, Zana. There is a conspiracy behind this coronavirus. Yes, it was Gucci Mane, I think. Yup, the crime. Doesn't she? She does come across as sneaky. Yeah, she was trying to get up on that Gucci Mane D. And he, you know, he put her on blast. She was trying to lick that ice cream cone. Yeah, I don't trust her at all. How did she even get that job? Like, sometimes you be wondering how these hoes be getting put on. Like, I mean, I guess they be doing the whole thing. Angela, yes, ye supposedly date. I gotta see what this plies look like. Oh my God! Before I go, I gotta tell y'all something. I was so scared the other night. Plies look weird. What's his Plies is a what? He's a Cancer. He's weird looking. Yo, looked like he was born a little too late, like 2 weeks after the due date. You know, it came out kind of slow. That was a slow ass baby. He crying like, yeah. Like, why do ugly babies always cry like that? You know what I'm saying? Baby, like, and I'm not afraid. You know, everybody fair game with me. Look, there are some ugly babies out there. Why do ugly babies always have an ugly cry too? That's what that Plies reminds me of. Like, he was an ugly ass baby. His lips the same size as when they was born. Just put the baby in the crib and shut the door. They propping the bottle up at 2 weeks old. That's why he got his teeth all capped. Teeth messed up because they kept propping that bottle up. They didn't want to hold his ass. But wait, who else was I gonna look up? I was gonna look up something. That's a weird looking dude, man. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you. Yo, I was so scared. Wait, I don't even remember this guy's name anymore. Oh, okay, now I remember. Okay, y'all have to bear with me because I'm old. I'm getting old, so I don't know a lot of what these young rappers look like and who they are or whatever. But I had Googled mumble mouth rappers because I want to do like a little video on how they all look like crack babies and they look all like, you know, they look malnourished. Why all these new rappers look malnourished and sick? But then I came across this one rapper and I was so scared. Oh my God. What's his name? Trippy Red. This Trippy Red dude, yo, what's up with him? Why he look like that? Y'all know who I'm talking about? He scared the mess out of me. Looking like a little red demon. I was like, what the hell? But has anybody seen this Trippy Red? He's scary. I was like, that's a demon. XXX looks scary too in some of his pictures. I'm like, that. Why do they all look half dead? What is up with that? Is it all the Molly that they take? I don't get it. They all look like they have AIDS. They all look like they're half dead. Even Vic Mensa, but he a Cap Moon. Wait a minute, I gotta see this Vic Mensa. Who is that? See, I don't even know these people. Oh, he don't look bad. What's wrong with him? He look a little crazy though. He got those crazy eyes. Oh my God, is he a Virgo? He got them crazy Virgo eyes. Little Uzi, scary looking too. And what's that other one? Little Yachty. Oh my God, help. Rendezvous said they're not eating well. Cindy, did you Google that Trippy Red? Scary. Scary. Can you imagine you waking up to something like that standing over you? Oh, so Vic is a Gemini. Yeah, you could tell he's special. Oh, and he wears eyeliner? Okay. Oh, yeah, he's special. Oh, yeah, he's special. Poor baby. These babies are so sick. Oh. Newport Hundreds and malt liquor sex produced them. Oh, wait a minute. Let me look at the baby. I hate that name, the baby. The baby needs some milk. Get some milk for the baby. The baby. The baby's diaper. Somebody put the baby diaper. Okay, you think the baby is cute? Let me shut up because I was talking about Slim. But no, I was really playing about Slim. He got a wide ass mouth. He one of them ones that could fit two up in there. The baby, that's why they call him the baby. He like, yeah, that baby got good jaws. Scorpio Forever said the baby be packing too. He looked like he could have a little weight to it. Yeah, he look a little bit. No, he don't got a wig on. All these dudes are special. Where's he from? He looked like he from down south. But I'm gonna tell you who was the precursor to all this. It was because of Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was the one who was the trendsetter for that very sick look. The baby looked like Splinter. What that mouth do? Yeah, he could fit 3Ds in his mouth easily. And still be sipping on some scissor. Sipping on some scissor. Well, you gotta kind of hurry because I gotta get off this live soon. But go ahead and post your question after you send the cash out, Tracy. Oh, he from North Carolina. Mad Dog 2020 babies, yup. Mad Dog, Boone's Farm babies. What is a burnt demon? Cisco Offspring. Four Loco. XXX is an Aquarius. Yeah, he looks half dead. What are they doing to these brothers? Here it is, Tracy. See, back in my day, you had men that looked like grown-ass, well-fed men. Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, LL Cool J. Like, these men, they look like they had balanced meals. Talk about milk does a body good. I mean, come on. These men, you know, they looked like the epitome of health back then. What is going on now? Again, I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a mistake that they got these dudes looking like this because they want to emasculate men. And they don't want men to be coming across portraying that strength and intelligence. That's why they have the mumble mouth rap. Ghostface, yes. First of all, let me tell you, I'm going to spill a little of my own personal tea. You know how Ghostface calls himself Pretty Tony, right? Well, he only started calling himself Pretty Tony after he met me because I was like, you know, you the pretty boy of the clan. He was like, word? I was like, yeah, you the pretty boy of the clan. After that, he started calling himself Pretty Tony. And I ain't lying. I don't lie about stuff like that. Tony Starks. Yes. I told him, I was like, you the pretty boy of the clan. That's right. Christina said, yes, even the baby admitted he was molested as a child. The thought of it, Method Man. See, Method Man was good looking, but he damn sure wasn't a pretty. See, you need certain qualifications to be called the pretty boy of the clan. So Meth definitely wasn't a pretty boy. That is reserved for Ghostface. Ghostface got that title. Meth is the sex symbol of the clan, which is why when I was with the RZA was like, Meth in the other room, you can go in there if you want. That he was showing vulnerability. Oh my God, he was so vulnerable. But yes, he was like, Meth in there. He was like, you can go in there if you want. I was like, I didn't come here to see Meth. I came here to see you. And he was like, oh, really? Yeah. The thought of it said, all them dudes was fine. Wu-Tang. I was going to wear my Wu-Tang hat tonight. Ghostface had that look, that smile, and that shit. Yes, Pretty Tony. Angela, you used to manage Wu-Tang. Sure, they couldn't stand her. They probably all ran through her, though. She looked like she'll give it up to anybody. Yes, Cherry, but not as hardcore as I am now. But I knew all their signs and all of that stuff. And yeah, RZA is very smart. He's very smart. And it's like he's arrogant, but underneath the arrogance is a level of like insecurity that he has, which is very Cancer. What kind of pass around did he think you were? Right? But then later on, he did say, he was like, let me stop. I'm spilling the tea too much. I'm supposed to reserve this for my book when I do my autobiography. But in true Cancer fashion, he said, so you're going to have my baby next year? And I was like, what? He was like, so you're going to have my baby next year? And I was like, oh, this is how you kick game? I was like, damn, that's so Cancer, though. They're already thinking about putting a baby in you and shit. And me, I'm such a sag. I'm so like dumb with it sometimes. I was like, no. I should have been like, come on, let's do it. But yeah, truth be told, I think he was trying to put a baby up in me. Nurse Tara said, oh my God, that's what my Cancer said the first time we had sex. See what I mean? Them Cancers, they want to create a family. And having a baby with a woman, that's the best way to lock a woman down. Yup, I'm still alive. I'm about to get off though. It's 2:04. Amazonian Goddess said, I wanted to know if the rising sign has, hell yeah, it has importance. It's very important. It's right up there with the sun and the moon, which is why it's important to know what sign you were born. Because the sign that's rising in your chart, those are going to be major themes described by that sign that impacts your life. Like, for instance, a Cancer rising, more often than not, their mother and family, but mother in particular, are going to be a major theme in their life. Motherhood will be a major theme in their life. Their home life, like where they live, will be a major theme in their life. Race may be a major theme in their life. So yeah, that rising sign, the ascendant in particular, is very, very important. It's so important that we take the ruler of the rising sign, the ruler of the ascendant, and we designate that the chart ruler. That tells you how important that rising sign is. That rising sign is like your window to the outside world. So, you know, like when I talk about the rising sign with my students, I talk about how different rising signs have different windows. Like a Scorpio window will be like tinted dark, either tinted dark purple or tinted black. Sagittarius window be wide ass open, letting flies and mosquitoes all up in the house. Because Sagittarius is very open, very out there. Libra rising, they can't decide if they want the shades up or down. It all depends on, you know, how they're feeling on a certain day. Virgo rising, they have those blinds that they can open and look out and be nosy, but then they can always shut it when they're feeling all insecure and shit, or when their house ain't in tight, tip top shape and shit. Pisces rising just got a porthole like in a ship, and that can distort their vision and shit. Aquarius rising, that's like a stained glass window. Leo rising, they got this ornate window, all looking all decorative on the outside and shit. And of course, they're really not going to have a shade drawn because they're an exhibitionist. They want to get attention, so they got to shine. They want the sun to shine in as well, warm them up and stuff. So Leo rising is going to have like an easy access window, but they could be territorial as well. So they're going to have locks on that window. They're going to make sure they can secure it. I'm about to get off love more for real. You know how I get though. Gemini rising, their window is going to vary. They can have those shutters, but then keep the shutters open. And, sometimes they're wide open. Sometimes they're halfway closed. Gemini be vacillating from one to the next. Sometimes their window could be half open. Sometimes it could be all the way open. Hell, sometimes they climb in the window instead of using the damn door. But yeah, I got to go, y'all. I got plenty to do, but it's been real. It's been good. I hope y'all take what I said when I was talking about Kobe's chart to heart, especially those that, y'all, especially those people that still believe what the mainstream media is telling them and all that stuff. And what I said about that whole lying thing, I really believe, it has done people a disservice because, again, when you're young, you're taught, it's not right to lie and stuff. And you may not be a liar because you let that be ingrained within you, but don't think these people up at the top are not lying. They like lying is part of regular business for them. Just think about your average politician. They lie all the time. What do they always do? They make all these promises, and then when they get into office, it's like they don't even know you anymore. They be taking pictures with babies and stuff, being all in the hood, making it seem like they're a man or a woman of the people. And then when they get into office, it's like, to hell with it all. Thank you, Carolyn. But yeah, I'm about to go. Love you all. Thank you, everybody, for donating via Super Chat and Cash App. And I will be back soon. I'll be doing my Venus and Pisces video really soon. So stay tuned for that. I'll be doing part 2 of this live stream very soon. So stay tuned for that. And I guess I'm out. There's my website in case you want to order a reading. And peace, many blessings. Y'all be safe. And happy birthday to my daddy, because my daddy's birthday is today. Aquarius. All right, peace, many blessings.